So welcome back, adventurers. Last session, my goodness, how to describe what happened last session? Following on from Halbrick Thornton sending you to the Tower of Storms to have a dig around some shipwrecks and return with treasure. You met the spirit of the former lighthouse keeper, a sea elf, directed by their friendly talking crab, who you named Mr. Pinchy, if I recall correctly.
It was Mr. Pinch, but then we just decided to add
change
the
it
Y.
to Mr. Pinchy later, didn't we?
Mr. Pinchy.
Mr. Pinchy. We fought some harpies. We killed those guys. We explored the tower. Found some found some symbols of Talos, the Storm Lord, which you failed miserably to identify until you were told by his acolyte that was what was going on. Fought that guy, killed him, much to my chagrin, because he should have been much more dangerous than you made him look. And restored order to the Tower of Storms, preventing future and further shipwrecks. Following on from that is where the last session took its dark turn. Two of our murder hobos decided that chum in the water with their fallen foe to get rid of the sharks that they had been warned about by Mr. Pinchy was a good idea. So the mechanics of that ensued, followed by some looting of the shipwrecks and a quick fight with Daggermaw, the bull shark. Some treasure was found and loot was divvied, and our party set back towards the town of Phandalin, where they arrived in the evening, late in the evening.
Do you have things to appraise and sell or follow up on too?
Yeah, I mean, you might need to wait until morning for that though. So, as we left it, you guys had arrived back in the town square of Phandalin, the Stonehill Inn, the Shrine of Timora, the now familiar surroundings of Phandalin await you. It's around 9-10 p.m. What would you like to do?
I think that we should go to the inn and get some brown stew and some ale and mead and wine and water. But before then, I'm gonna run by the Shrine of Timora and throw a gold piece in there because we've made so much money.
Okay.
Doing my normal thing where I kiss it.
As you do that, you sort of feel a greater connection with Timora than you have before. Just sort of having access to the shrine, and you know, being able to sort of pray in a more kind of structured way and show tribute in that more structured way, has allowed you to kind of form that bond a bit more. Take a point of inspiration.
Inspiration.
Ooh.
Wait, what do you do with the inspiration?
So you can use it like a luck point, basically.
Shit.
So like re-roll an attack roll or re-roll a skill check roll or something like that.
Reason for my life. Okay, cool, thanks.
Okay, and yeah, since you're probably about to take a long rest, I'll let you keep this one past this long rest. Actually, I never thought. But,
that makes sense. I didn't even think about that. Thank you.
And future, they would be per long rest, and they would reset it at dawn. Okay. Okay. So, off to the inn.
Yeah.
Yes. A bowl of stew and a stiff drink seems like just the thing right now.
Okay. So as you enter the inn, the kind of familiar sights and sounds of the the Stonehill Inn fill your ears. You see Toblin, the dwarf barman proprietor, sort of busy himself around as evening's kind of coming to an end. Punters are a bit thinner on the ground at this time of the day. So he's just sort of tidying up behind the bar. He notices you come in. Gives you a little wave.
What was his name? Toblin?
Toblin.
Oh.
Toblin Stonehill.
Hello, Toblin. We are back.
Hello there, ladies and gents. Lovely to have you back again. How was your adventure? I trust successful.
Quite productive, my good man. Thank you.
Excellent. What can I get for you?
I'm gonna bow with the flourish, holding the 9-inch bluestone statuette. It's like waving it around.
That's quite a find. I see you've found yourself some treasure. Excellent. I'm sure Mr. Thornton will be most delighted.
This was not from the shipwrecks.
No. Well,
No.
It seems that there are tales to be told then.
Oh, I have a question for you, Mr. Toblin.
Yes, fire away.
Okay. So on our way out, we saw a caravan or a wagon with a wizard or something in it. We talked to the people that was surrounding. Anyway, they're still here.
A caravan with a wizard? I don't recall.
They had to do something with the dragon. They were going to do something with the dragon. I think they were supposed to come here and then they were going to set up or something.
No,
Okay.
No one has passed this way. They may have gone straight on to the mountains rather than stop here. I don't recall, or if they did stop in Phandalin, they did not stop into my inn.
They did not see your beautiful face. Okay.
They did not. More's the pity for them.
More brown stew for us, naturally.
Absolutely. I think we still have some left if you would like some.
If you do, that would be most welcome.
Just the usual drinks as well. If you want to take a seat, I will. I'll bring things over.
Thank you, my good man. I'll bow regally.
He kind of returns as best as he can and sort of almost bumps his head on the bar because it's so much lower down than the rest of you. So you take your seats. Toblin sort of busies himself fetching up your usual drinks orders, fetching up some brown stew. Finds a saucer of milk from Knox, brings that over. And you see him kind of as he goes to put the milk down to Knox, he's sort of looking at Knox and then looking just next to her, and then that's better. And he gives her a little scratch and goes back behind the bar, leaves you to it with your drinks and your meals.
Wisp, I have a question for you.
Yes.
And Vale takes off the cloak that she found and then presents it to Wisp and says, "Would you like to have this? I think that this is more for you than for me. I do not need fashion, but you like to change shape, you like to change the way you look, and I feel like this would behoove you more than me in your shaped changing ways."
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, you take that, and then
I put it on, just kind of give a little
Good idea.
So as you put it on, it takes the form of a long, flowing, sort of shimmering ivory, silk cape, and with sort of fur trimming round the hood.
Okay, I'm putting that hood on.
So, remind me again what items you found and what you identified in the last session.
So, okay, we got we have 4 golf ball sized pearls we have to appraise and sell. We got the 9-inch blue stone statuette that appeared to be crafted by a skilled craftsman.
In the shape of a mermaid.
Mermaid
Was
thing.
it? I didn't even write that down.
Yep, 9-inch tall blue quartz
Alright.
statuette in the shape
Did-
of a mermaid.
And then we found a long wand with a question mark at the end.
Right. So you haven't identified that yet, have you?
No, I don't think we have anybody that can cast Identify. So we have to like,
So you'd have to meditate on it over a rest.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
I did that with
And
my
then-
greatsword, didn't I?
And then
So
your
I know
great
it's
sword
great.
project as well, yeah, which was a +1. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And that was it. And other than that, you divvied up coin and all of that kind
And
of
we
stuff
have
as well.
Hallbrick's share off to the side
And you've
too.
got Holbrick's share
Mhm.
separate. Cool. Good stuff. I just wanted to double check. I knew there was something that we hadn't identified, but I couldn't remember what it was. Okay. Back to you. Sorry for interrupting.
Well,
Oh, and we also have the shell casting focus.
Yeah, I thought somebody had that. Did somebody
Yeah,
take
Miles-
that?
Miles got
I don't
that
think
still.
so. I think it was just. It's just
Oh,
in my notes.
we're just gonna put it in the pool of stuff to sell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Unless
the-
somebody else wants it, because I don't actually need it.
I mean, we did also had other things, but it was from, but it's not from the shipwreck.
Okay.
The small spiral seashell with the small white gem inside.
Yeah, the shell casting focus.
oh yeah, that was yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you're sat sort of busying yourself about your stew and your drinks, Toplin drops off another round for you and lets you know just that your rooms are still available from the previous couple of nights, still paid for by Holbrick Thornton, still being built.
By
on
our
the
sugar
exchange.
daddy. What?
Yeah. Are we gonna get some rest and get this stuff appraised and sold
Yeah.
tomorrow?
In the morning, yes. I'm sitting back leaning back a little bit in the chair with my wine goblet, just kind of looking more comfortable than I have been. Like, now that I've got some blood in me, I feel better. So I'm feeling pretty good at the moment.
Bal's quite distracted by his new greatsword. He's just sat there looking at it shining.
I'm just concerned that we all smell like fish.
There are worse things to smell
Because
like.
of the exploded
true.
shack. That's right.
Uh-huh.
Nix you see sort of sitting with her deck of cards, just sort of turning them over in her hand, as if she's sort of trying to work out the combination on a combination lock, looking at them and sort of tapping at them and just sort of fanning them out and putting them back together and shuffling them and just seeing if, like, she's experimenting with ways to see if she can make anything happen with them, but nothing's happening.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm sure that the cards will show you things that you need to see in time, Nix.
Yeah, I hope so. She just sort of noticing that she's been noticed. She just sort of pops them away back in her pocket.
how's Nox doing?
Nox is chilling. Nox is just at his milk, of grooming himself, licking his paws. All that kind of cat shit that cats do.
Well, it is time to call it a night. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna pat Nox on the head and pat Nix on the head and head up to a room.
Okay.
Once I finish my meal and my drink, I'll do the same, looking a little more content than I have since in some of the early parts of our journey. I'm feeling a little better. Yes, good night's rest sounds excellent.
Yes. I need to get all the sand out of all these cracks and crevices. I'm gonna
All
take
these
myself.
crevices.
I'm gonna take myself to bed and make sure that my new sword is ready for the next day.
Cool. Okay, you all head off to bed then. Nyx sort of still sits at the table. Given that she's an elf and needs less time for a long rest than you guys, she's gonna just wander outside to where she went a couple of nights before to sort of release the jar of fireflies, and just sort of stand there with Nox and stare up at the moon for a while, look at the starlight, just sort of reflect and think on what she saw and sort of try really hard to force any of those memories into her head. After a while, she sort of has no luck and heads back in, goes up to her room, folds her stuff carefully and gets into bed for her evening's rest. So, morning comes to you. You all sort of wake at your own pace around sort of 9, 10 in the morning, congregate back in the common room at the Stonehill Inn, and the day stretches out in front of you with all its infinite possibility. What would you like to do?
Breakfast.
What does breakfast look like at the Stonehill Inn?
Breakfast looks like just good hearty breakfast fare. Homemade sausages and nice bacon and eggs any way you would like, and nice fresh baked bread and things like that. He's definitely a better short order breakfast cook than he is a stew maker, as Toblin.
But I like the stew.
Well, you're going to love his breakfast.
Breakfast stew.
All right.
Well, I mean, Master Halbricht, I cannot see his name. Master Halbricht is paying for it, so we should definitely eat. It's time to eat.
So yeah, so again, Halbricht just brings you out whatever you want in terms of breakfast. Pots of coffee, pots of tea, jugs of milk. Just lets you help yourself, because he knows also that Halbricht's paying for it, so he is going to put as much down in front of you and make as much money out of Halbricht as he can.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee drinker, but I feel like Nico should be, so black coffee.
All the goth kids
Vale
drink
just
coffee,
eats
Nico,
and drinks
right?
whatever's put in front of her. She doesn't care.
Yes. Yeah. Goth kids drink coffee, yeah.
Black like your soul.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. Okay. So, it's over to you guys now. What is the day going to hold for the Broken Blades?
Okay. Well,
For the BBs.
The BBs.
The BBs. We have to go get all this stuff. We have to get this stuff appraised, and we have to sell it, and then we split up the gold and whatever. Or I'm very interested to see what this statue is all about. Like, is the statue just a statue? Does it have some kind of history? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that it would be important to check that.
Yes, the statue is curious, and it would be it would behoove us to know more about it before we take it to Master Halbricht.
I wasn't planning on taking the statue to Master Halbricht. I was just planning on, I don't know.
Let me share.
I was kind of shrug at that, but yeah, we shouldn't keep him waiting too long for his cut, or he'll wonder if we've absconded with it.
Perhaps. So do we know where we could get things like fully identified? Like, I know that we can, like, I don't know, like, I know that when you like sit with something and attune to it, you can kind of figure out at least the base properties. But as far as like if none of us are spellcasters, can we actually attune to a wand? Like, if we're not proficient with wands, can we attune to a wand and know? You know what I mean? Or is there some place, or do we know anywhere in Phandalin we can go to get something identified?
So the probably the most likely places in Phandalin would be the Landshield Coster, in terms of whether or not they had some sort of base knowledge of enchantments or any enchantments that they might put on any of the weapons and things like that they sell. So they might have some sort of base knowledge or at least some sort of ability in spell casting whereby they might be able to identify magic items for you. Your other option is probably Sister Garaele at the shrine, who obviously is a Timora cleric, so she might know.
Okay. Oh, I feel like we would just. Oh, okay. Perhaps we should start at the Lion Shield.
Yes, I actually
go talk to Lynn, maybe.
I need to visit. I need to pay them a visit anyway. I have something I'm looking for there.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Our recent foray has made a need clear to me.
That's
Okay.
a little sus.
I can't remember. We have the Lion Shield coster. Is there a I remember that there was an arrangement between there seem to be arrangements between some of the storekeeps, like certain ones will sell things that the others don't sell.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons and armor we would find at the Lion Shield though, right?
Yeah. So the Lion Shield coster, so the Lion Shield coster is sort of weapons and armor type stuff. Barthen's provisions is your sort of general store, your adventuring provisions, that kind of thing. Okay,
perfect. That's what I'm looking for then.
Okay.
Did you say bathroom provisions?
Barthen's.
I was like bed, bath, and provisions.
That's totally what I thought.
Cool. So Lion Shield coster then. Is everybody heading to the Lion Shield?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So you having eaten your fill and having that post like big breakfast kind of stuffed lethargy starting to take over you figure it's time now to kind of get outside and get some fresh air. You step out into like a brisk late summer morning. The weather's pretty nice. It's quite sunny. You can see it's, if it stays this way, it could be warm later. A nice sort of chill breeze blows down off the Sword Mountains and sort of reinvigorates you a little bit as you step out into the early morning light. You can see that the town of Phandalin is now sort of starting to come to life for the day. People are sort of starting to go about their business, and as you look across the square towards the Lion Shield coster, you can see Lynn Greywind outside it, just sort of opening up shutters with the two shop boys that you saw in there before, and getting the business ready for today. So you can head over there anytime you like.
I have to be that guy who walks in right after they open.
Yeah.
Mean.
Are you open?
Oh, hello. Yes. We are open. We're just opening up now. Something I can help with? Come in.
Things that we need to have you look at if you to see if you are interested in perhaps I don't know. We need you to look at some things that we found.
Okay, very interesting. How can I help then? What do you need me to take a look at?
Do you have identification services?
As in identifying potential magical items and such like?
Correct.
Yes, I'm capable of some basics around that type of spellcasting. Yes.
Okie dokie, and then I'm gonna take things out of my bag: the statuette, the wand, and the spiral seashell with the white gem.
Okay. Which of these would you like me to look at first?
The pearls. There are the pearls on there too. We got four pearls.
Okay.
Picture
so each one of these is going to take me about 10 minutes to identify. So if shall we say a gold piece per identification? Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. Just trying to remember what that wand is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 1 Pretty sure it was in the module and not just something that I was nice to you and gave you.
It shows in the module too.
Mm.
It was in chest number 3, if that helps at all. With the waterlogged velvet pillow.
Yes. I got you. Okay, cool.
Okay, who's going to help pay for this? I mean, I would,
I will.
I will put in a gold.
I'll be more than happy
Yeah.
to contribute to the identification effort.
Absolutely fine.
Same.
We only need 3.
All right, so each of us put in a gold.
That's 4.
Well,
Technically 5, except Nyx is not kind of here.
Yeah, Nyx will
You've
put a gold.
been-
Nyx will put a gold piece in.
Okay, I'm not going to put the gold piece in then.
okay.
Well, you've been acting as our accountant and financier, so I'll. I think you've more than made a sufficient contribution. I'll
Very
go ahead. And, I'll go ahead.
That makes sense. Wow.
Yeah, I'll chip a gold. You're doing the bookkeeping, so I'll chip in the gold.
Okay. So what are you having to identify? The wand, the statue.
If it's even magical, yeah. And then the small spiral seashell with the white gem.
The seashell.
Which I don't even know. I think that might have just been a focus.
And do you want her to look at the pearls as well?
Just to see if they're magic.
Okay.
Like if they're not magic, then there's no reason. Do they seem magic? I don't think so.
You wouldn't be able to tell.
I think they were
really,
just
one way or another.
No, I'm not gonna have her look at the pearls.
Okay. So
I want her to appraise the pearls if she will buy them.
appraise the pearls.
But if she doesn't want to buy them, then I'll just put them back.
Okay. So she will appraise the pearls and she would be interested in buying them. Each pearl is worth about 150 gold.
Okay.
They are sort of
Holy.
of spellcasting quality, so they are
Ooh,
particularly nice pearls.
That has an effect on the landscape.
Yeah. They are spellcasting quality, 150 gold. Above, I mean, we talk above board all the time. So anyway, Wisp,
Yes.
I do believe that you may need to use these pearls at a certain point in the future for spellcasting purposes. I do believe. Perhaps I am thinking of the wrong thing. I don't remember. Hold on.
I mean, Nyx is just going to sort of step in and just say, well, if they are spellcasting quality, it's not like we're really hunting for money. It might be worth just at least keep 1 or 2 of them.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep 2. How about that? Does everybody agree that we should just go ahead and keep 2?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
I feel like I remember that these pearls are for some kind of important spell, but I don't remember which spell. Perhaps I am metagaming. I don't know. I will just keep 2.
Cool. Okay, so if you keep 2 of those pearls, Wisp, do you want to add 2 pearls worth 150 gold to your inventory? And
So that'll be
Linny will buy the 3rd pearl for 150 gold.
Well, it's 4 pearls.
Oh, is it 4?
So we'll sell
okay, so it's 2.
We'll sell 2 pearls, so 300
Okay,
gold.
so 300
We had-
gold for the pearls then.
Because we had 6 total, and I think 2 of them went into Hallbrick's cut.
Yeah, they're gonna go to Hallbrick. Yeah.
Right, got you. Okay. So she then, that transaction concluded, will set to work on identifying, casting Identify on the Seashell as a ritual, which takes 10 minutes.
But
She comes, then takes another 10 minutes to do the
Are
same
we-
on
are
the
we-
statue.
I'm
And
sorry, what pearls am I adding?
just
so
2 pearls worth 150 gold. You
And
might
there
just
were-
need to add
you
them
might
as
just need to kind of manually type it. There might
custom,
not be
a
like
custom.
yeah.
And are the
and
rest of
then,
us adding any gold or anything? Or...
so from the sale of the pearls, it would be, what, 60 gold each? Is that right?
2 times 30.
Oops, right.
150 divided by 5. Times...
Happen? Oh, we're not. I thought
I'm
I
too
was just
tired
gonna.
for math.
I was just gonna wait until we decided if we were gonna sell any of the other magic stuff,
Oh, okay.
and then
Just do the whole
once
thing
we,
all at
once we
once.
finish everything, get all the gold, then I was gonna distribute.
See, this is what I mean. You're doing all the bookkeeping.
Because I don't know if we're gonna need. Need a wand. I
DM's
don't know what
vanished.
happened.
Yeah. Just unvanishing
Uh
myself.
oh. Now we're in different orders again.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This is gonna be the session that breaks Scott, where he's like, "We got to figure out which one does the outputs for each camera." Okay, you're
No,
back
that
in the
sounds we're
same
fine.
spot. Never mind.
Cool. Okay,
Oh,
so
we did pay a gold for to identify, right?
Yeah, I already took
I
that
know-
out of my
I
inventory.
know Dimmy
so-
did,
yeah,
and then
next
Nix did, and then if you wanted to, or you could, or Wisp, you could, and then
so it's only three. It's only three things that she's identifying now.
Okay,
so-
I did
so we only
already.
need 3 people. So that means Project. If you did, then you would want to bring that back.
Okay.
Okay.
If not, then don't worry about it.
So,
Um,
so Lenine comes back having spent half an hour identifying things for you. She's like, okay, well, I've cast identifying all 3 of these items now. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, only one of them is actually has any magical properties. The wand is it has the ability to disarm traps or open secret doors within around 30 feet. You can use that 3 times a day. So it's a wand of secrets if you want to.
A
put
wand of secrets.
Yes.
Nico, can you use this? Can you use wands?
Excellent question. I'm not sure. Yeah, that is a good question. I'm not.
So
not
I
sure.
don't think it doesn't. The item description doesn't actually say that it requires attunement or anything. So I will double check it on D&D Beyond, but I think anyone can maybe use that.
I mean, I am okay at actually doing this on my own. So I don't know if
Yeah.
somebody else wants to, or perhaps I can just use it, and it could just be my job all around to do the things with the traps and the doors and things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
So-
know.
So
it
yeah,
does
so
seem like it's more in your wheelhouse.
yeah, so it doesn't. It's not an item that requires attunement or a specific class, so anyone can use it. The wand has 3
Well-
charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges. If a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and points at the one nearest you. The wand regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn.
I will hold on to this, and then if somebody decides that they would rather have it, so that if we want to diversify our not bonds but our magic items or abilities, then we can
Mhm.
do that.
Okay.
But that we'll figure it out. But I will hold on to the wand of secrets. We should not sell it.
Mhm.
No, definitely not. That's. I can think of at least a couple of times where something like that would have been useful.
Mm.
So, yes.
She then goes on to say that she says the statue, exquisitely made as it is, it looks to be of sea elf make, based on just the design and the craftsmanship. It's actually not quartz. It's actually made of this one large single piece of sea glass, which obviously has an effect on the value itself. It really is just a decorative piece. If it were the type of business that I was in, I might pay you 75 gold for it.
Oh, you would appraise it at 75 gold. I bet Albrecht will, perhaps. But then we have to give him, what was it, 35%? 35? Was it 35? We talked him down, right? Correct. 35. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then lastly, the Seashell. It has been used to channel magic. So it is, it has been someone's spellcasting focus. It seems to have been made by quite a skilled craftsperson, someone well learned in the arcane arts. It would still be usable for that purpose. But again, if you were looking to sell it, I'd appraise it somewhere in the region of 250 gold.
And 50?
The gem inside it appears to be quite a high quality diamond.
A diamond.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, never mind. Okay.
Interesting.
It's like fast forward to slamming it to the ground to get the diamond out.
No. No, I don't think well, I don't know. I don't know anything.
This I would be interested in buying if it were for sale.
The I think we should sell it. What does everybody else think?
I'm cool with that.
I have no need for it.
I don't think any of us need
Like,
it.
Nor
any
does
of us
its-
really need it.
Nor does its former owner.
Correct. Because he is now released. We saved his life. We saved his unlife. We saved
His
his
soul.
afterlife.
His soul.
Sure.
Cool.
Okay,
So,
we will sell it.
so 250 gold it is.
Sounds perfect to me.
I suppose I better add it to Nix's character sheet. Yeah.
How much is that each? Oh, I'm a crap at math.
I'll give it a number in a second.
Give us a total.
Yeah.
Let me do my Google math. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah.
110 gold each. 110 gold, and I will pass it out to everybody.
Man. Nix is caked up.
Huh?
Nix is loaded.
Reloaded. 110, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
110.
Dang. No.
And then we should perhaps so I think we should have Albrecht look at the statuette,
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
I am still curious if he knew all about the ships and the Tower of Storms and things like that. Perhaps he knows more about like sea elves and what this statue might represent, or or maybe he just wants to buy it.
I agree. Let's see what he said.
I wonder if our dwarf friends are still in town. They may have a historical interest in it.
Perhaps
Or
we
archaeologists.
could see if they are around.
We do have an
That's-
award-winning archaeologist at our disposal.
That's true. But they are a dwarf, and the dwarves are more mountains, but this is more sea. But you know what? I have been proven wrong so many times on this past adventure that I cannot, I need to stop with the assumptions.
Nix is just going to step in and say, remember we asked Barthen about the dwarves and he said that they had left town. They'd gone back to Neverwinter.
Oh. Well.
Right. Unfortunate. I rather liked those two.
Enough to eat them.
That's just rude.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Okay. I will refrain from those jokes until we are better friends.
Just kind of my eyes kind of dart over to the civilians in the room to see how they reacted to that little quip. I'm like,
Joke. It's joke.
anyone get anything else they want to have a look at in the Lion Shield?
Yes, I do. I am looking for a shield.
A shield?
I was going to say the exact same
Ooh,
thing.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we can certainly help you both with that. Not a problem. We have a sort of range of shields available depending on your how much you sort of wanted to spend. He says frantically looking at his tables. Let me just do it on D&D. So we have a basic shield for 10 gold pieces, or
We've been pretty
have
profitable so far. We want to see your best stuff, sir.
the best. Okay, so she has kind of a sort of semi unlimited number of basic wooden metal banded shields.
We want
She
your
has-
best, so we have a basic shield.
So she has like an unlimited number of those. Obviously higher quality items. Then she has a much more limited supply. So at the moment, all we have is a standard line of Lion Shield shields. Other than we do have one item that was brought to us that we have that has sort of been refurbished and brought back to its best. And she brings that out, and it's more of a kind of less of a kind of round wooden shield and more of an actual sort of shaped shield.
Like a tower shield, or
Like a tower shield, like a small, like
Okay.
not a full height tower shield, but like a kind of mid, like sort of
Knight's
protect your
shield, yeah.
like your neck to your hip kind of size, but
Mhm.
very obviously very well made, very well maintained. You know, highly polished, highly kind of decorative. Would be a +1 shield, and that would be 200 gold.
+1 shield. So that would +1 shield. That would be what, +3 to AC total?
+3 AC, yeah.
Ooh.
Careful there, miss.
I'll give you first refusal, Nicodemus. You asked first.
Oh. I think as the more physically inclined of the group, I think if we were to purchase that, it should go to you. I'm more than content with the and I'll look at the rest. I'm more than content with the basics, shall we say? Nothing too grandiose.
I would I be able to wield that shield with my great? Is a shield something you have to hold, or
Yeah.
is it just?
Yeah. Yeah,
So would it work with my great sword, or do I need two-handed great sword? So I can't.
I think you need to. I don't know if you can wield the shield while you're two-handed, can you?
I think there might be a feat where you can wield one like a two-handed weapon with one hand, but it's not
Yeah.
by default. You'd have to
You
specialize
would
in
have
that.
access to that, yeah.
Okay. I might.
And
I'll
I
have a
don't
look at it
know.
and just think.
I think you'd have to
that.
also cross-reference your abilities as a barbarian, because if you, I
Mm.
think there might be something that you lose if you have a shield or armor on.
I think,
Unarmored defense, maybe.
yeah, I
Right.
think, well, you're as a barbarian, your AC is like it comes from your unarmored defense, but I think you can still wield a shield with unarmored defense, can't you?
I mean, I've been reading about so many different. I thought it
know.
was shield or, but I might be thinking of a monk, maybe.
I don't know. I'll find out.
Yeah, my great sword, which obviously is what I
Nope.
want. To
Unarmored
use, is
defense.
two-handed.
While not wearing armor, your AC equals 10 plus your Dex modifier plus your Con modifier plus any shield bonus.
Yeah.
So
You can.
But then, okay. So
you
then
can have a
there's
shield,
still the
but
issue.
yeah, but so
Yeah.
it's the two-handed element that's the problem.
Okay. I will just sort of look at it and say it's nice, but maybe
Yeah.
I'll wait for another day.
Yeah, actually,
what kind of Sorry, what style of shield did you say this was again?
Sort of a
Like a kite shield or?
yeah, like a kite shield.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm looking at Dark Souls pictures in another tab. Yes, you said 200 gold for the +1?
Indeed.
I'll take it.
Okay. Go ahead and add a +1 shield to your inventory and deduct 200 gold. Thank you very much.
Right.
A pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Likewise. 200 gold. Move.
So that was the other thing actually Jen wanted to do. And barding for Nox. Now that she's wadded.
How do I do this again? Oh, here we go.
Okay.
How would I find a +1 shield in the inventory thing? Still trying to figure it out.
I think it's shield +1 it would come up as rather than +1 shield.
Okay, shield. Not finding anything.
Well, if what I did was just search filter shield,
Mhm.
and then filter for magical, and if you scroll down, it's the last green. If you hit load more, it's just shield comma +1.
Load more was what I was missing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, found it. Thank you.
Cool. The costs. Why does it not just give you like a gold piece amount for cost for barding? I'm just gonna have to make this up.
Doesn't?
For
No,
for
it
what?
just says ×4, cost ×4 and weight ×2. That's all it says. For cost for barding. So what is that? What are you meant to be multiplying to arrive at that number? Gives you absolutely no hint.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it the cost of the
Cost of the animal to buy the animal
Right.
times, yeah, maybe. So if you were like barding for a mastiff, would be 25 gold pieces to buy a mastiff, so it would be 100 gold pieces to buy barding for a mastiff. Okay. Right, okay. So Nyx is gonna ask
Oh,
Mm.
wait, no, that's not it. The cost is 4 times the equivalent armor made for humanoids, depending on. So,
right.
like, if you get padded, leather, studded leather, etc.
Got you.
Dang, pet armor's expensive.
Is it
If that math is right, you said it was 4. Was it 4 times?
4 times for a humanoid? Yeah, and that padded gives you disadvantage on stealth for some reason.
Yeah. So if leather armor's 10 gold pieces, light armor.
Then it would be
It would be
40
40.
gold.
Okay.
Yeah, for the barding.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So Nyx is going to inquire with Lenine. I'm looking for some armor for my friend here. She says, she sort of strokes Nox's head. What would that run me? Just sort of leather armor. Lenine kind of looks and brings out a measuring tape and sort of measures up and for sort of basic leather armor, 40 gold pieces. if you would like that, perhaps with some design work and scroll work and a bit of customization, we could do that for sort of an additional 10 gold pieces. And I'm just going to take the punt that Jen would want the additional design and scroll work and agree to that. And yes, she's saying in chat, lovely. So 50 gold pieces. It's going to take a couple of days for us to make that because it is a custom piece. So if you come back the day after tomorrow, we should have that ready for you. Thank you very much. So I will deduct the 50. And you've got a couple of days before you can pick that up. Okay.
Lenine.
So is it? Yes.
Lenine, do
Hello.
you have any magical rings?
Rings.
Yeah.
What sort of thing are you looking for? Are you thinking?
I don't know. Things for protection or anything. I don't know, something interesting. I don't even know if I have enough gold for, anything, but
Don't think. Yes, maybe.
sorry.
That's all right.
Making him do work.
You may do reading.
Don't know.
I was elected to lead, not to read.
Oh.
Okay. So we don't really specialize in sort of enchanted jewelry as such. We do on occasion come across the odd piece of enchanted weaponry, but we don't really do enchanted jewelry.
Yeah.
There's not really anywhere around here that does do that, although I did hear of whether it's a legend or a myth or whether just an old story is so many of these things are. I heard a rumour recently that this dragon currently plaguing the area is not the first to do so. And apparently there was a green dragon several hundred years ago who, much like this current dragon is doing, made nuisance of itself and was felled by a great dragon slayer of its day. Its resting place thought to have been lost. I heard recently has been discovered in the wilds between here and Neverwinter. So if you're looking for, knowing the types of things that dragons would hoard, then that might be something. If you can find that, then there may be items there that may be useful to you in your adventuring.
It's a wonderful tip.
Intriguing.
That is a good tip. We just have to decide what is more important. Thank you, Lenine. I do appreciate that.
No problem. Thank you again for your business and for bringing me these lovely things to look at.
Oh yes, and thank you for identifying all those things and buying and things. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anytime. Glad to be of service. So we all done and dusted at the Lion Shields then?
I think so.
Smiling
Well
lady
done.
looks on her. The wonderful Lenine.
Okay,
It is
are
time
we
to
off
go see Albrecht.
to Albrecht at the Miners' Exchange?
Let
So
me
you,
check.
as you enter the Miners' Exchange, you see Albrecht in his more peasant garb that he wears in work, his sort of grubby cloak and grubby clothing. Behind the counter of the Miners' Exchange, dealing with someone trying to sell him what looks like a sort of small quantity of gold. He sees you coming in, and he sort of whispers to his clerk to finish off that transaction as he comes out, and he says, my friends, how good to see you." He comes out from behind the counter, changes his coat. "Now tell me, how did it go? What happened at the tower?"
Oh, we nearly got eaten by sharks.
Yes, but then Whis blew it up. It's fine. It's fine. We are good.
It's quite a long and eventful story, Master Thornton.
Well, I find that the best way to hear long and eventful stories is over a bowl of stew and a pint of ale. If you will care to join me at the Stonehill Inn, we can discuss your adventures and perhaps see what the share of the loot looks like.
We have put the share of your loot off to the side, so I do have some things for you, which we can distribute over the ale.
Excellent. I do appreciate the organisation. Thank you. So he sort of sweeps out of the Miners' Exchange, and sort of almost kind of tempting you to keep up. He appears to have a thirst on him as he heads towards the inn. So arriving back at the inn, he enters. "Goblin, table for me and the adventurers here. Keep the ales coming."
I don't know if I can eat any more.
So you sit at your table over by the fire, sort of away from everyone else in the room just now, and a round of ales is produced by Toblin, and Albrecht will take a big drink, set his ale cup down, and be all right then. Tell me your story. What have you got for me?
Well, first, and I put a pouch of his share in front of him. First, here is your 35% share. You will find platinum and gold and silver and a little bit of copper, but just, for because we like to be exact. And also, we found these gigantic pearls, so you get 2. And in fact, I would like you to know that we found 6 pearls total, and we give you 2, which is more than enough. Well, it's exactly the right amount, actually. So anyway, you get 2 pearls, and then all of this gold.
And he's just gonna takes the coin pouch in his hand and he weighs it. And he's like, and he looks at it, and you can sort of see him doing the mental maths of like the cost of the ponies and the cost of the potions of water breathing that he gave you and the supplies that he gave you, and he's like weighing it up, and then he takes the 2 pearls in his hand and he's like,
he pops 2 platinum in there.
And he seems pretty happy with his investment. So it looks as though he has made a bit of a profit here. And he says, well, quite a tidy profit for me from the initial investment on your adventures. So I thank you. He raises his mug and he says, "Cheers."
Cheers.
I think this could be the start of a very profitable relationship. So, what happened? What did you find out there?
Quite a lot, actually. It all started with a talking crab, if you could believe such a thing.
Talking crab.
The familiar of the lighthouse's former keeper, who himself was, well, shall we say, physically disadvantaged.
He was
He only
dead.
had one leg.
Not quite. Look at when Vale says it, I'll just, nod over in her direction. He's dead, yes.
A spirit. A talking spirit stuck on this plane, this material plane. It's a ghost.
So we've got a talking crab and a ghost. What's next?
Harpies. The tower itself had become a nest for harpies. That was our first significant resistance on the way up.
Slam my head on the table. Fucking harpies.
Well,
Particularly enchanted by the harpies.
not really. Were you?
Fucking
It's-
harpies.
Oh, speaking
We'll
of
do that.
Wisp. Speaking of Wisp, the whole area around the Tower of Storms had this weird like energy around it, and then like sometimes I don't know what the trigger was. I do, but I don't know what the trigger was. Some weird things would happen, like Wisp grew a feather beard, and Wisp, and everything happened to Wisp, and Wisp started smelling like a stinky. So I don't know. It was very weird. The whole area was very strange.
The more I hear about this, the more I'm glad I fucking sent you lot. And it just does not sound like a place I want to go to myself.
It was interesting.
Indeed. The tower itself, we did manage, in point of fact, to ascertain the cause of the shipwrecks.
Really?
Yes. It seems that I suppose an acolyte would be the correct word? An acolyte of... Oh, I thought you had
I
something
will.
to chime in with. Okay. And it seems an acolyte of Talos had taken up residence in the tower.
Have you
Talos.
ever heard of a person named Uluran Mortis? Uluran Mortis.
No, I can't say I have.
Are you interested in discovering the greater plot?
Well,
Can you help us?
what? You'll have to go back and explain this to me. I don't really understand what you're asking me.
Okay.
The-
Okay. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'll let you tell this part. I actually have to run it.
Okay. There was a half orc or orc. I don't remember. I don't know. He was angry. He turned into a giant pig. Anyway, he had replaced the beacon in the Tower of Storms with his own heart, but he infused some kind of magic into it via the lightning, maybe, perhaps, and it made it giant and green, which was causing the ship to wreck. And then I don't know. And then we fixed that. We took it out and put in the right thing. It's fine. But more importantly, there was this giant thing, this rod that went into the air, that lightning. It was a magical thunderstorm, lightning storm, and it was, I don't know, it was terrible. It made me so angry. I don't know. I hated being in the rain like that. Anyway, so, and then it led down into this thing, and it was an altar, and it had the three, I don't know if the altar had the lightning bolts, but something had lightning bolts on it, and then it was like putting energy into the thing. We didn't do anything with it, so it's still there, but we replaced the beacon and the storm went away, so it's not getting the energy. Anyway, we found a letter, an unsealed, opened letter, and it had 3 lightning bolts. Maybe that's what I'm talking about. A motif of 3 lightning bolts, and they had different, I think there might have been different colors. I don't remember because I didn't write it down. And then it was a letter that was signed by Uluran Mortis, and it was like, oh, thanks for doing this stuff for us, and we need to gather the gold. This is all from memory because I didn't write that down either. We had to gather the gold so that Talos can do the thing and be the best person ever, or the best god and stuff. So, that's all I got.
I'm just like, yes. Yes, that is what happened.
I mean, that's a lot of information. So what? Let me just check. I've got this right, because so you found an orc or a half orc. It made his
Turned into a
heart.
pig,
He turned into a pig,
but then not a pig.
but then not a pig.
Correct.
It's a very big angry pig.
Right, okay. So he didn't have a heart because he was using his heart as a beacon in a lighthouse, which you've killed it and replaced with the proper beacon. But when you searched him, you
There's
found
a barnacle throne. We searched the barnacle throne. It was very
Right.
strange.
Okay, so you searched his barnacle throne, and you
Like a
found a
toilet.
letter.
Like a toilet. Like, I don't know.
Like a right, all right.
Yeah.
You searched this toilet and you found a letter that says basically what Talos cultists are plotting something.
Yeah. I don't know why I just adopted your accent for a second. It's fine. Yeah.
Right. I mean, have you got anything more than that?
Ularan Mortis.
All around, I don't.
I
Recognize
don't know what I didn't write everything. I wasn't I
didn't
couldn't
write down
scribble
the-
fast enough.
I didn't write down the whole contents of the letter either. Do we still have the letter, or is it like?
Yeah, we should have the letter.
Yeah. I was gonna say, unless it got like damaged in the rain, because it was raining pretty hard during that whole fight. So that.
I'm not sure if I've still got the letter. I think I do. I hear it's here. Here it is. Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Mal, you
Oh, there might have been.
one of you kept the letter, didn't you? So yeah. Who had the letter? Was it Mal?
I did.
You did. Okay. So have you still got it?
Yeah, I
It's
should.
Okay.
Ran.
So do you want to let? Have you still got the letter? Let me read it.
Yes, take it.
Okay. So
And please
Do
read
you
it.
have-
And please
do you
read
have
it
the
aloud to
letter
refresh all of
still?
your memories.
So it's Moesco. So is Moesco, is he this half orc
Yeah.
geezer?
Yes, the heartless pig man. Yes.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm writing to congratulate you on your endeavours at the Tower of Storms when we finally rise up to restore our Lord to his rightful position. Oh, excuse me. The supplies you've removed from ships will provide great advantage. Ularan Mortis. What's this doodle in the corner? He kind of holds it up to the light. So did you notice this? And he kind of shows you in the corner. There's like a little symbol drawn. Oh, any of you recognise that?
Didn't. What does it look like? Do we recognize it?
Make a religion check.
I'm hugely bad
Don't
at that.
know.
7.
'Cause-
I'm gonna. There we go. Sorry, I didn't have audio for ages. I didn't want to reset it.
I thought you would have been quiet there, Project. Just. Did you do one as well, Dummy?
No, not yet. I was actually about to ask if perhaps our resident religious expert might want to make that roll.
A trickery cleric.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will do.
Just do it.
18.
See, there you go.
So see that's
Skull and a triangle.
yeah. So that's what you see.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
And you recognise it as the symbol of Mykrul. Mykrul. And with an 18, Mykrul is the Lord of the Dead.
Appropriate.
Was a god of the dead in the Faerunian pantheon. He was originally a mortal man, a necromancer, who ascended to godhood.
Was he evil?
Sounds like it.
I mean, death isn't always just evil. Sometimes it's neutral.
You know, he's evil. He's a known evil deity. So yeah. So with an 18, you would know all that. Pretty
Okay.
Pretty well known god. So
He's a bad man. A very bad man.
So yeah.
He's a bad man.
So why would this micro symbol be on a letter about the Talos cultists and their activities? Did you find anything else there that linked it to micros? Did you see that symbol anywhere? Or?
Not that I can recall, no.
I only remember the lightning bolts, which was Talos, as far as I recall.
Yeah.
I recall.
Yeah, I mean,
bolts. I don't
Talos
recall the other
is pretty widely worshipped up the coast. He's three lightning bolts is a symbol. Like, people from around here would know that, but Mikro, I've never known him to be worshipped around here. So,
well, these
interesting.
These are orcs, are they not? Half orcs? Before we arrived in Phandalin, we encountered a group of orcs that were displaced by the dragon. Do we know the dragon's name? Okay. They were displaced by the dragon. Perhaps these two incidents are related. Maybe Miracle's worshippers have migrated south or migrated north.
Yeah, possibly. I think for now, I mean, there's obviously something going on. You know what? But plots within plots. By the looks of this letter, I think just keep an eye out. Keep me informed if you hear anything or if you find anything out on your travels. And yeah, let's see what happens. Let's hope we don't get into trouble with a death cult. That can't be good.
Death cult, Smith cult, Schmith, death. I can't even say it. It's fine.
My
So
Nico's good mood is starting to evaporate with all the talk of like deities and gods and stuff. He's starting to look a little more sober than he was a few minutes ago. It's like,
Nico, you need more wine.
just kind of grumble.
Anyway, my friends, listen. I want to properly say thank you for everything you've done over at the Tower of Storms and for this bountiful harvest that you've crossed my palm with today. It has been a while since the town of Phandalin has had any reason to celebrate, so I would like to throw a party in your honour this evening, right here in the Stone Hill Inn. Would that be acceptable? Would you be amenable to that as a...
I personally am very, very amenable to a party. It's been so long since we've had a party.
Most generous of you, my good man.
Like a whole 2 weeks, I think. I don't know, the last party I was in was in Neverwinter. And for me, it was in Neverwinter, but I don't remember whether, you all were there. I know Nix and I were together, but I don't know about y'all. I don't remember. It was that good of a party.
It has been, and I get this kind of wistful look over my face. It has been quite a while.
Well, that settles it then. Tonight, in here, shall we say 8 p.m. to give me some time to rally the great and good of Phandalin and make sure everyone's here.
Do you think that Arben Wester will come?
Oh, I don't.
You got to drag that man out of his house. He needs to let it go.
Yeah. I think we would all be better. The evening would be better served with the absence of our town's fine mayor.
Let's leave that snivelling man in his home. We don't need him to ruin the party.
Oh, why did you say the quiet part out loud now?
Yeah, we were all thinking it. All right.
Yes.
And as he picks up the last of his mug and he downs what's left in there, he sort of wipes some froth off his beard and says, "I will see you this evening. You might want to have a bath and a bit of a tidy up. You smell like shark's guts." And he sort of spins on his heel and flounces out in his brocade coat. Off he goes out into the street, and you can kind of hear him from outside. And just as it's yelling, "Party tonight, 8 p.m. Stone Hill Inn. Everybody invited. Pass the word." And as he flaps off down the street, you hear his shouting getting quieter and quieter as he goes. So you've probably got sort of 8 hours, about noon by now. You have about 8 hours to your party's due to kick off. Anything you want to do in that time?
Vale's
back to
definitely
bed.
gonna clean up. Vale's gonna clean up and will also wash her armor and her clothes and stuff.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Would we do that at the inn, or would we have to go elsewhere for laundry and a decent wash?
No, I mean, Toblin sort of sorted out baths and stuff like that for you as well.
I'm fully picturing just like a giant bucket in the room.
No, like Witcher baths, just like
Yeah.
a tub full of hot water. He can sort that out for you.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
what I
want-
was thinking.
if you want-
On Albrecht's tab.
On Albrecht's tab, yeah. If you want,
Sweet.
if you want your laundry doing as well, then Albrecht can pay for that. Toblin can do that for you.
Sweet. That is what I want. I wanted all of those things.
Cool. So,
Get myself looking more like the noble that I am.
I still look scruffy.
so you all make your way back to your room, leaving your whatever you want laundered outside. Albrecht set you up your own bath because you're getting the full VIP treatment. Since,
Because he's sugar daddy.
Because Albrecht's paying for it. You have your bath. By the time you get finished and get yourselves dried off and gussied up, you hear a knock on your individual doors. Your attire has been returned, repaired, cleaned,
Ooh,
patched
repaired.
up where needed.
Nice.
So you can all now get ready for the evening's events. Still have a couple of hours to kill before the party would be starting. If there's anything else that you want to do in the meantime.
I'm like, my mind's still stuck on the miracle symbol, and I've been kind of turning it over in the bath because I do my best thinking in the shower. Perhaps Sister Grail would be able to tell us more about this miracle and why we're finding his symbol in Phandalin. Of course, I'm probably the last person that should be speaking to someone of the clergy. My last conversation with her was awkward.
Are you thinking this, or are we also in the
Are we
bathroom?
all like in the bath together?
Oh. No, I thought we were done with that part.
Are we done? Okay, we're downstairs.
Oh.
No, just set
Okay.
the scene for us. Set the
Well,
scene
because you
for us.
said
Just
you're
whatever.
doing best thinking in the bath, and I'm like, are we?
No, I was like, I thought of it while I was in the bath, and now
Okay.
I'm telling you. That's
We're
what I
just
was
there,
sorry.
like.
Well,
It's been a long day.
nope, totally makes sense now.
Okay.
No. I think that we definitely should talk to Sister Garel, Sister G, about the religious things.
Yes.
Seeing as she has, she has many sources of information.
She knows a little too much. She's a little sus.
No. I think that she is
She's just wise.
She's a resource.
She knows about... Seems to know quite a bit. She was even able to answer some of my questions, although somewhat reluctantly, I think.
The fellow religious person, Wisp, would you be amenable to speaking to her about Miracle and Talos and
Sure.
Moesco and
Sure, I'll pretend I know what I'm doing.
That's all that any of us are doing.
So it looks like Wisp, you're heading over towards the shrine for Timora. Is anyone else? Nyx is gonna go. She kind of is feeling the need to be outdoors right now, so her and Nox are gonna join you, but she'll just hang about outside and let you go in.
I'm gonna stay away from churches.
I'll go along, but I'm gonna like pet Nox and like, poke around there, but I'll still be around.
Cool. So you enter the shrine of Timora then, Wisp, and find it unattended. There's one person sort of sat. Look like they're praying, but no sign of Sister Garel.
Okay. So I go home. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, I don't know what I should do then.
Can you have a look around and see if there's any sign of where she's gone?
Do I have to do checks for that?
No, I mean, you
Probably.
can just have a scout around and...
No, I'm gonna ask that one person there if they've seen Sister Guriel. Sister Grill.
Okay. So yeah, you sort of have a bit of a scout around and you don't see her. Decide to are you going to interrupt this person that's sitting praying? Or...
Maybe I'll give him a minute.
Okay. So you wait for them to finish and they sort of stand up and crack their neck and stuff. They've been kneeling down for a few minutes, and the person sort of turns to walk out.
I'm like, excuse me, hello?
Yes, hello.
Do you happen to know where Sister Guriel is?
Sister Garel, she's out. I think she's out of town at the moment. Yeah, she does tend to disappear for, a couple of weeks at a time. So I think she's back out on her travels. You might not see her. You might not see her for a little while.
Okay.
So sorry about that. I have to be going though. There's a party at the tavern tonight. I want to get ready for.
Okay,
Goodbye.
fair, thank you.
And the old man kind of toddles off.
I probably should have asked him about it, but he's going to a party that I also have to go to. Well, shit. So I'll just go back and tell her whether she's not here.
Okay.
I'm actually wondering if I could find him in the party and ask him.
I seem to remember Sister Gariel was saying something about leaving town. But, memories.
I wasn't there for that.
Alright, well.
Okay. So you've still got a couple of hours if there's anything you want to do, or we can fast forward straight ahead to the...
Well, to be honest, actually, is there anywhere I could go hunting for a bear nearby? Because I still haven't got that for my for my powers yet.
Well, Barthen's provisions did have some bear pelts for sale, if you remember.
They did, didn't they?
Otherwise,
Can I go there?
Otherwise, the Neverwinter Woods is about a day's walk away. If you want to go hunting.
Okay. Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Can I go there then, please?
Go to Barthen's.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you enter Barthen's, you kind of turn around and you see his kind of familiar sort of ruddy, smiley face. Welcome back, my friend. Do come in. What can I do for you? How can I help you?
Then, my good man, I seem to remember you had some bear pelts last time I was here.
Ooh, yes.
I feel like they would be useful to me.
Well, I certainly do. We have a fine range in bear pelts. In fact, one of the hunters who supplies us with such things has actually just dropped off a whole new batch of bear pelts. So we have some very nice ones here. Some nice new pelts. Nice. Different types of bear as well. We have brown bear pelt. We have a grizzly bear pelt. I think I even have a spectacled bear pelt. I might even be able to do you an owl bear pelt if you're feeling a bit exotic.
Benefits of them are. I mean, is there anything you could recommend, Barthen? I'm trying to use it to. Oh, I don't even know what I'm trying to use it for. I have
like the channel you look like a big, strong fighter. The channel like your inner beast.
Yeah, exactly. So
excellent.
I need something obviously that is going to be very useful in battle. So, which bear pelt would you recommend?
Ooh, well, do you know it? There's no bear more feared in the land of Faerun than the owl bear. If you've ever heard of one of them or ever had an encounter with one of them, you'll know that they're a most fearsome predator, much like yourself. From what I can see,
haven't been that lucky to accept that challenge. But how much would one of those set me back?
An owl bear pelt, given the level of challenge in separating pelt from owl bear, would be 50 gold pieces.
Oh, that sounds absolutely fine. I will take the owl bear pelt.
Okay. So you may now deduct 50 gold pieces and add an owl bear pelt. What do you intend to do with this pelt? Are you just going to rock it like a cape, or like?
Well, I'm going to a party this evening. It will be quite a conversation piece.
So cape it is.
So yeah, I think I will rock it for now. Actually.
So you don this great owl bear head on top of yours. The beak, the owl bear's kind of jagged beak kind of comes down to a point in the middle of your forehead, like it's like almost like its head like a giant eagle owl, with like big great feathers coming off the back of it. You sort of fold its taloned front paws over you, so like the talons are just sort of sat on top of your pecs like that, and it's sort of feather and fur, kind of grey, silver grey, hide kind of hangs off your back as a long cloak. You sort of finally feel like you're looking the part of a barbarian.
Love everything.
It's not coming up in the search.
Just like just a custom thing. It'll just be like a bear pelt.
All right, okay.
I just like how we all got cleaned up and stuff for this party, and he's like, "I'm gonna go fight a bear to get this belt right now."
Is anyone
Look,
go
then
fight
when I'm next to me back here.
He's like, where's the nearest bear?
Yeah.
Man knows what he wants.
Man knows
For
what he
real.
wants, yeah. Cool. Okay, so now newly decked out in your owlbear cloak, malfeasance. Anyone else get anything else they want to do in the next hour or so before the party starts? No? Okay. I'm going to just take a quick break and grab a quick drink, and we will return with party time. Don't go nowhere. Hello, welcome back. So, tidied up and business done. Some of us bedecked in newly acquired owlbear pelts. The Stonehill Inn begins to fill as the residents of Phandalin descend from their homes and their farms around the town and start to fill up the place. By the time the appointed hour of 8 PM arrives, the place is already busier than you've ever seen it. And your 4 or 5 visits to the place. You can see at one end of the room, towards where your usual table that you've been taking up would be. There's actually a sort of long, like a top table has been set up. And sat right in the middle of that already is Hulbrich Thornton. And you can see that there are sort of 5 chairs sort of set up alongside them at that table. Obviously, meant as a place of honour for yourselves. You can see that already set up on that table was quite a feast of fruit and cheeses and various different types of roasted meats and stuff like that. You can see bottles of wine and flagons and jugs of ale, sort of everything that Hulbrich and Thornton know that you guys like, sort of set up at places for each of you. Thornton, he sees you entering the room and he stands up, kind of gets on top of his chair and kind of loudly proclaims, "Ladies and gentlemen, our guests of honour for the evening, please welcome the Broken Blades." And at that, everyone in the inn sort of stops and turns and looks at you, so sort of standing in the door, and are kind of taken for a moment, because this is the first time a lot of them are seeing you, and then the place just kind of erupts in a kind of roar of applause as you're sort of applauded up to your table. Thornton sort of gesticulating you to come down and join him. So you all sort of wander up there and take your seats.
Just like thinks I hate it.
Walk up. Vale is just like, yeah, that's us. You know what I mean? Fucking walking up there.
I'm putting my hood so far away.
Mal's just like, I'm so pleased that I put on this bear cloak.
Oh my god.
Soaking it in.
Awesome.
I'm gonna just go get my wine and sit down.
Cool. So Nyx is sort of a bit kind of taken aback. She sort of pulls her hood up over her head and slinks off to her table, off to her seat at the end of the table, the furthest away out of the road that she can get. And she just sits down and kind of grabs an apple, carves like a slice off a leg of ham, and just sort of feeds that to Nyx, starts eating the apple, feeds that to Nox and starts eating the apple, and just pours herself a big drink of wine. And just sort of starts underneath her hood, drinking away.
I just like how we have the two who are like about it, and then the two who aren't about it, and then the one who's like neutral. That's just great.
This is a lot of people.
Well, it's an important night for the town and for me and for you guys. So I wanted to celebrate. Plus, with Wester in charge and this dragon nonsense hanging over us, there hasn't been a lot of reason to celebrate recently. We can talk about that later. We can talk about that. Let's have some fun, shall we? And he kind of stands up and he kind of claps his hands and he just shouts music. You hear kind of from over in the opposite corner of the bar, like a sort of 3-piece bardic band of sort of strike up into sort of a merry tune, and everyone's sort of starting to get into it now, and everyone's sort of had a couple of drinks, and the place is sort of starting to rock.
Sweet. It's time to get dirty again, eating all of this food.
The most we've eaten in like
I know.
I am
Feast and famine. That's just the way life
pretty
goes.
much always hungry, or hungry and thirsty at this stage.
Yeah, Mal's only just getting used to his new body, so he's perfectly happy with munching on the new.
just going ham on the ham.
When a protein sat in front of you now, Mal, you can just...
He's just stood there in a big bear cloak, like with his over his head, just scoffing on, like, what's there?
Excellent.
This is good. Good stuff.
And as you sort of sit and eat and drink and talk amongst yourselves, like that, a sort of endless stream of well-wishers are sort of making their way up to their table and kind of taking each one of you and shaking you by the hands and like, you're welcome, and we're so glad to have you here, and all of that kind of stuff. So that like everyone's awfully really kind of obviously kind of really excited to see you all and to kind of almost like a bit sort of starstruck, like they're in the presence of celebrity.
To admit, I've been quite a while since I've had a warm welcome anywhere. This is very refreshing.
I completely
just look over
agree.
at Albert. Thank you.
You're very welcome, my friend. Never let it be said that I don't treat my friends well. And then it just at that he sort of stands up. And now that he kind of knows that everyone's sort of having a good time and everyone's eating and everyone's had a few drinks, so he stands up on his chair again, and he kind of gestures for quiet, and the band sort of quiet down into sort of a low hum in the back corner. And Holbrook kind of stands there and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll indulge me for a moment, I'm not much of a public speaker. I'm not known for my oratory, but I wanted to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight to pay tribute to our new friends, the Broken Blades. I'm delighted to announce that they have agreed to act as exclusive adventurers for the town of Phandalin, and will now be going forward taking on the contracts required of adventurers, reporting back into me at the Miners' Exchange. We'll be getting rid of this dragon. We'll be getting rid of all the troubles around here. And the Broken Blades are going to help us do that. So everybody give them a round of applause. And the place kind of busts into another big
I'm gonna lean over to Nico and be like, Did we agree to that? Did we even talk about this? I don't remember being there. Have I drank too much?
So then Wester cracks on, Holbrook cracks on as you're kind of having this conversation behind yourselves. And he says, "For too long, the mayor of this town is hidden behind his front door and failed to address the problems that we're living with. Constant raids from orcs coming down out of the north. supply train's been harried by this dragon, bandits and whatever else running wild, and he hides and he does nothing. He sends no word to Neverwinter. He sends no word to Baldur's Gate. He requests no aid. He sits behind his door, counting in his money and hiding like a coward under his table. Well, I say enough. It's time this town had new leadership. I intend to be that new leadership and to lead the town of Phandalin into a new era. We're going to reroute the Tribor Trail and reroute the High Road so that Phandalin becomes a hub for trade and for people and for travel and for tourism. That it becomes the great city that it once was in its past. Each and every one of you here tonight with businesses and farms and interests in this town have been pushed down and tread upon by Wester for too long. Let's hear it. If you'll support me, and we can get rid of Wester and put some proper leadership in place that's willing to bring in people like these Broken Blades and move our town forward. And he kind of holds his hand up. And it's not quite as rousing a round of applause as you guys got, but there are definitely some pockets, and I probably quite a small majority of the room kind of erupt in a bit of an uproar. The rest of the place is just sort of like, yeah, okay. Like just sort of giving him gentle applause and sort of looking a bit dubious. But all he's hearing is the supporters, and he kind of waves and he sits back down and he picks up his beer and takes another big drink. And thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy your evening. So he's sat back down. Everyone
Excuse
goes,
me,
everyone
Albrecht.
goes, yes, my dear.
When were you going to discuss with the BBs that we were? What you just said? Like, I don't understand.
Well, I think that we've discovered in each other kindred spirits, and that you'll agree that our relationship so far has been highly profitable. I think that as we move forward and we revitalise Phandalin, and more money is coming through the place, I'm sure you'll agree that it would be in your party's best financial interests to be part of that and to reap the rewards that will no doubt come with it.
So that is correct, and I'm sure if we discussed all these things and whatnot, that we would have been like, yeah, that's great. But you didn't even discuss it with us, and there is a principle of the matter here that does not settle, because you cannot make decisions for us. Like, okay, we appreciate all that you've done to us, for us. You bought us the places and the things and the foods and the drinks and the baths, and we had the ponies. But we brought them back. Didn't we? I do, but yeah, we brought them back. Sure. But I think we need to create a formal agreement, assuming that my colleagues agree.
Cut directly to a problem issue. It's not my intention, nor I suspect those of my compatriots, to stay in Phandalin forever. We have business of our own that is likely to take us elsewhere.
I absolutely appreciate that. And apologies if I'm jumping the gun with the announcement, but I think that we can certainly come to terms that at least keep you here until this dragon situation's dealt with, and then perhaps we could revisit and see at that point if some revisions needed to be made to that agreement? Or?
I think we do need a contract because, you know, before you were like, okay, 35% for going to Tower of Storms, but now things are a little bit different. So we do need to like make arrangements.
This is coming from our rogue.
All right, look.
Oh, what are you talking about? I'm not a rogue.
Tell you what. I apologize for jumping the gun with the announcement, but I do still want your help, and I do still want you to be part of this, and for us to profit together. We can talk about pulling a contract together. I think what I'd like is for my ability to draw that contract as mayor of the town to be a bit more shored up. Now, as you can see, I've got some popular support with the residents of the town, but that doesn't actually matter yet, because I need to force a town council vote to remove Wester before I can set it to a popular vote. So Barfin is already on side with me. The town council is the mayor, so Wester at the moment, plus the 4 most prominent business people in the town. So at the moment, the town council is Wester, me, Toblin, Lenine Greywind, and Barfin from Barfin's Provisions. Now, Barfin's on side with me, but we need 100% vote of the rest of the council to oust the mayor. So I need Lenine and I need Toblin on side. Now, Toblin and I, we get on as, you know, as a barman and patron.
Mutual benefactors.
But we don't always see eye to eye politically. We don't always agree on what's right and best for the well-being of the town. It tends more to be on Wester's slowly, you know, keep ourselves to ourselves type side. So he's going to need some persuading to come round to my way of thinking. Also, Lenine Greywind is a bit of an enigma to me. I get the feeling that she, no offence to those of the elvish persuasion amongst you, but I get the feeling that, like most elves, she feels a little bit superior, perhaps. Certainly to me, and certainly to Toblin as a dwarf. I also get the sense that she's not really very committed to Phandalin, that she'd rather be somewhere else. But at the end of the day, she's a business person, so I would hope that you know, she would see the advantages of, you know, more passing trade, etc. So if you can bring Toblin and Lenine round to my way of thinking, or at least secure their commitment to you know, call the town council vote and get rid of Wester, then we can talk about contract terms for you guys being the exclusive adventurers for the town of Phandalin. What about that?
So, for, you know, I don't know how everybody else feels, but, like, why do you want to be the mayor of Phandalin? Is it just for power and money? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't...
Wester and I were amongst the first people to resettle Phandalin. Me with the miners' exchange and him with his bank. Because the banking took off a bit faster than the mining. You know, miners have come to the area in dribs and drabs, whereas everyone who's needed, you know, farmers, etc., have all needed the services of a bank. So he was able to sort of quickly consolidate support much faster than I was, and that's the only reason he's the mayor today. You know, if you speak to most people around the town, the man's an absolute leadership vacuum. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't lead. He's happy now that he's made his money to sit behind his door and count his pennies. He's got no vision, no drive left.
Okay, well, what is your vision? What is your vision? Is to make it a commerce capital, like a trade capital?
So, but for 5 miles, this town is right on the Tribor Trail, which is one of the main trade routes from the coast into the interior. But you could walk along the Tribor Trail and not know Phandalin was here. Because Wester refuses to either to redirect the trail so that it comes through town, or even put anything up there that indicates that Phandalin is in this direction, and that, you know, that travelers can stop here. You know, that would be a start for me. That would be a start that we either redirect the trail, or we start directing more people down through here. You know, we also sit almost exactly halfway between Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate, which are the two biggest cities on the coast, and yet we never see but an absolutely minimal amount of passing trade coming through from either of those two places. But for 15 miles, we're right on the high road. So I'd like to see the town expand, and I'd like to see us, I'd like to see us attract more people in who travel the high road. You know, the difference is, you know, a night under a roof or a night under canvas. If you're coming up, you see what I mean. So, you know, first it would be to create Phandalin as a trade hub, and then use the income and the commerce that generates to grow the town and attract more people here, and, you know, build a garrison and you know, become a major town, a major city like Neverwinter, like Baldur's Gate. But there's no vision. There's no vision like that. No leadership being shown towards that just now. So that's what I want to do.
It does seem like quite a position to squander.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with Wester?
Yeah, I'm the business person in Nico is starting to come out as I certainly see your point. What do you think that perhaps the others are scared that if they oppose Wester that they'll suffer financial recrimination, with him being the hub of town banking and all?
So, I mean, I don't think that the position of mayor means anything to him other than the honorific title at this point. You know, if he weren't the mayor, he'd still own the bank. You know, he'd still have that power as the local banker. He'd still have a seat on the town council. He just wouldn't be the mayor.
So as far as Toblin is concerned, you say that you have different approaches to things, but because he likes to go slow, etc., etc. But if there is a town council, isn't it up to aren't like big changes and things up to a vote? So it's not like, oh, I'm mayor, I make the choices and nobody gets to say, right?
The mayor does have a certain degree of executive power that comes along with the office. There are certain things that would be within my gift, at least, to influence and push harder as mayor. You know, for example, when there are things that we're voting, in the event of a kind of split decision, my vote counts double, or the mayor's vote counts double.
Makes sense.
So there are advantages to the position.
Okay.
Tell me more about their reasons for opposition. On what grounds do they stand against potential expansion?
I think for Wester, it's certainly he's set in his ways and content with his own lot in life, and doesn't feel the need to push any harder than he's already pushing. But Toblin, is so you know Phandalin started out as a dwarfish settlement back hundreds of years ago. His family apparently was settled there back then before the whatever cataclysm came to the town, destroyed it. I think he just maybe doesn't want to attract too much attention to the town for something like that to happen again. And also, I think he much like Wester, he's comfortable with his lot, and likes running his little inn.
Sentiment.
Yeah, exactly. Sentiment.
And what if Greywind?
She's just a bit stuck up. She doesn't like me very much.
So it's personal.
On a personal level, she don't like me very much. As I say, a relationship. She's not someone who chose to move here. The Lion Shield's posted her here to run the Costa. She's sort of made no secret that she'd rather be back in Neverwinter. So I don't know that she's particularly resistant. But she'll still need persuading, I think.
Are all of these people here? I mean, Toblin's here, obviously, but do we see Lanine and Barthen? If I look around.
Yeah, Toblin's obviously certainly here. He's working his ass off right now. He's the busiest he's been in years. Barthen is sort of sat over in an opposite corner, sort of loudly holding court with a few sort of south-looking farmers. You don't see Lanine anywhere.
Yeah, she don't give a fuck.
But he already has Barthen's vote, remember?
Yeah,
Maybe
but
we
it's
can
there's some questions for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna Vale's gonna finish the rest of her drink and get up and like head over to Toblin, who's clearly busy. And do you need any help, Toblin?
Oh no thanks, my dear. I'm managing. I've got a couple of lads on tonight, just helping out collecting cups and stuff. So I'm okay running the bar. Thank you though. Thank you for your offer. But
This
you know
is
it's
your
your night. It's your night. You're the guest of honor. Enjoy yourself.
Don't say I did not ask, okay?
I appreciate the gesture. Thank you so much. Anything I can get you?
I mean, right now you are very busy, and I don't want to bend your ear too much and keep you. I know you. I don't know if you have time. I mean, I would like to speak to you about some things, but it doesn't have to be right now. It can wait.
Could we maybe speak tomorrow when I'm not?
Absolutely.
Like maybe around breakfast when I'm not so busy. Thanks.
Perfect.
Okay, while she's doing that, I'm looking around for that old man that I saw. See if he happens to be here.
Okay. After a bit of looking, you do see him.
Okay.
He is sat at a table by himself, at an angle that means he is only being held up by the chair that he's sat on. He is drunk as a skunk and has passed out.
Man after my own heart.
But like he's sort of doubled over, sleeping in his chair, like with the remnants of his beers just sort of precariously getting ready to pour into his lap.
All right, I'm just gonna leave him. I'll find someone else.
Okay. So, what you kind of have the rest of the party to sort of do what you want or make any inquiries that you want to do. At whatever point you want to sort of slope off and retire for the evening, you can sort of let me know. And then on the morrow, I will explain what the next part of your challenge is, should you wish to take up Halbrick's offer and act as his mouthpiece to persuade the Toblin and Linny. So,
Yeah, I was in. At first, I was like, I don't know if I want to get dragged into local politics, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, with my backstory and everything, I'm thinking that maybe having somebody in charge of a pretty decent sized trade hub would be pretty beneficial to me. So I'm getting more intrigued and talking to Halbrick as the night goes on. I'm interested.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be better than the guy who's in charge now.
I'm on the side of Vale, though, where I do want to find out what their reasons are. Because if he's doing some shady-ass shit, then I would understand.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Barthen.
But I mean, at the same time,
else is doing anything.
like, I would not mind helping if it meant, like, to better the town. Assuming that there's no shady shit going.
Anyway. Like, we were gonna but right, exactly.
Yeah. Certainly we don't want to act hastily, but it's an intriguing possibility and one that I don't want to discount out of hand.
Okay. So you want to go? Do you want to go and talk to Barthen just now, Vale?
I do want to talk to Barthen.
Okay.
Okay.
We going.
So you, anyone else? So Vale's sort of sidling her way over towards Barthen. Anyone else want to join her?
I'll
Yeah,
just
I'll
join her as
go.
backup.
Okay.
The whole group just gonna go bombard him.
So Barthen's like sees you all heading over there, and he kind of looks at the little group of farmers that are sat around him, and he sort of makes a bit of a gesture and dismisses them. And he kind of holds up his beer mug. He says, my friends!
Master Barthen!
And he kind of gives you kind of a bit too hard, like a bit too drunkenly, just sort of gives you a big kind of cheers and spills beer. And
Okay,
are you enjoying your evening?
Yes, absolutely. I do believe that my friends and I are enjoying the evening. Is that's right?
Oh yes. Yes, it's a lovely,
Enjoying the well
lovely
wishes.
soiree.
I'm very glad to hear it. And also glad to hear that you'll be acting as exclusive adventurers, ridding us of the dragon in this orc plague.
About that, I mean, I wanted to come over, or we wanted to come over here and talk to you about some things that were said, but also, I just want to, bend your ear.
have a seat and bend away.
Okay, so Vale's gonna sit next to him and like talk in a volume that like people around would not necessarily be able to hear. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
our table can hear it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll sit across from him.
So, what do you think about Master Albrecht's bid for the seat of mayor?
I think I support it. I think Wester is nothing but a stuffed shirt. I think that the town needs new leadership and new direction in order to grow and bring, economic stability to the region. I think that Albrecht is a man with a vision and the drive to realise that vision.
So why do you think that Lanine and Master Toblin would not support such a vote to replace Master Wester? Because it's true, Harbin Wester is just like, he's kind of a piece of shit leader. I might not be a piece of shit human, or person, but he is definitely not a very good leader.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Toblin and Lanine will speak to their own reasons as to why they've not come on side with Albrecht's endeavours yet. Toblin's not what you would necessarily call a typical example of his people. He lacks their love of gold and their greed on occasion. He seems comfortable and happy running his inn. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's something to do with they just is happy where he is.
The classic hang up of being set in your ways and not liking change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to look around yourself and here. The place hasn't been decorated and or renewed in 15 years. It's the exact same Stonehill Inn that we all walked into on the day that it opened. Nothing about this place has changed. So
does not have to. If Phandalin grows, and another inn can open. It's not that.
Yeah.
Well, but
exactly.
we will talk to him about that in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey,
And for
tell me something.
for Lanine, I often get the impression that she just doesn't trust Albrecht. Personally, I've never had any reason to mistrust him. I find him, loud and boisterous and crude at times, but a sound business mind and definitely has the best interests of the town at heart. But Lanine's reasons are her own. I couldn't guess at them really.
Tell me something. What was Wester like before the dragon? How much has this all changed him?
Not. I honestly, I wouldn't say it's changed him much. He's always been very highly strung. Always sort of, being the kind of man who will, jump at the sound of a door slamming. He used to be a bit more visible. You know, you would see him around the town a bit more often than you do now. But in terms of his leadership style, the dragon hasn't affected anything.
I see. Filing that one away from later.
I don't know. Well, do you have any questions? Do you all have any questions, or etc. Wisp and Mal?
I don't have any questions for him now.
No, I feel like we're gonna get our answers from them when we actually get to talk to them.
Barthen, where is Lenine? Why is she not here? Do you think we could find her at her shop right now? Right now?
It's kind of after dark by this point, so our shop will have closed. Our shop will have closed at sundown, so she generally doesn't appreciate being disturbed at home. I would probably suggest that you wait until
So knock on the windows, got it.
And that is why and that is why we came to talk to you,
Yeah.
That is the good information.
Well, I'm glad to be of service to you. If there's anything else that you think of that you wish to ask, as I say, I absolutely understand the need for you to ask questions and make sure that you're on the right side. But for my opinion, for what it's worth, is that Halbricht's plan is what's right for Phandalin.
I know, my
Make
question
of that what
is,
you will.
my question is, when we first came over, you were so happy, you cheered us and everything, and now I feel like us asking all of these questions has kind of brought the mood down. So perhaps we should have another cheers, to a good
So-
night.
Let's do that. So he picks up like the what's the word I'm looking for? Jug. But not
Flagon?
jug. Tankard. And he fills all your cups. And he holds his up and he says, "I toast to the future of Phandalin and to the broken blades." And he goes,
Broken blades and
"Cheers."
Phandalin.
And he just downs what's in his cup in a one. Puts it down.
Perfect.
And he goes, "If you'll excuse me." He stands up and he goes, "I think it's time for something stronger." And he heads off towards the bar. Time for shots.
Shots. Sorry.
Everybody!
All right.
It seems that the folk who need convincing are best spoken to another time. Perhaps we just set business aside for a few hours.
That sounds like a good plan.
Hmm.
It's time to dance.
No,
Excellent.
I don't dance.
So,
I will dance by myself then.
on this, Nyx, now being like having sat with her hood up drinking for about 3 hours, now lets her hood down and just says, "Did someone say dance?"
It's dancing time, Nick.
Soon she'll get up and Nyx is going to get up and start dancing around with you while sort of Nox sort of weaves his way in and out of your legs while you're dancing.
Hey.
Make a performance check.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh my god. Sorry, it popped out. 1. That's definitely a 1, right? It's definitely a 1. It is not a 7, it is a 1. It's fine.
So you've both now both by this point had a few, and you're a few sheets to the wind, and as Nox gets excited by the music and the dancing and the movement and weaves his way in amongst your legs, he just trips both of you up and you sort of all land in a heap of Vale, Nyx and Nox on the floor.
Perfect.
Just rolling about laughing as everybody in the bar sort of turns to hear what the commotion was, sees you all there in a big heap on the floor and just go, "Hey!" Like a big cheer goes up. And you stand and you give him a
Wine.
big.
I'm standing over there with my wine goblet, and I just look over at look over at Wisp and say, "And that is why I don't dance."
I'm just laughing.
Nyx is just going to pick herself up and stand at the bar and just go, back it! Another round of drinks for me and my
I was gonna say another.
And Dublin sets up, just this time he sets up like following on from what Batham's ordered, he sets up like a row of five glasses of nondescript, brown but dangerous looking liquid.
I am familiar with this specific situation in real life.
Nyx makes her way back to the table and she's like, God's shots.
And
Nyx is a whole
just
different
pick
person.
one up
I'm
and
just saying.
look at it. And, well, it certainly won't be the worst thing I've
she
ever
kind of holds
drank.
her out like, with one eye open and like, the broken blades.
So the broken blades.
She downs it and she just
Broken?
makes...
Gods, mighty. Fuck.
That's good stuff. She's just kind
I
of...
rather prefer the harpy.
Oh my god.
And she just slumps in her
Wow.
chair, picks up her beer and happy again, sits and
Chase it with some mead.
drinks away.
Or some harpy.
And then we proceed to get absolutely smashed.
Mm.
Yeah. So as the night wears on, you become progressively more inebriated. The place becomes progressively more boisterous till about 1 a.m. People start to file out and wander their way home, back to their farms and their homes in Phandalin. And you guys get to the point where it's just the 5 of you left. Halbricht is still sat in his chair in the middle of the top table, but is now passed out with his head on just using a plate of ham as a pillow.
No, the fact that Holbrecht is there, passed out, that tells me something about his character, you know. The fact that did not, like, you know, all uppity and then, like, go home before, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Stuck it out to the very end.
Yeah. And also, like, he trusts his town people. Somehow he trusts. I was going to say us, but you know what? We're very trustworthy.
So he kind of just at that, as he kind of hears your voices, he kind of wakes up and he sits up, and then just like with a slice of ham stuck to his face, like, I better go home. Broken Blades, I will see you on the morrow. All
You
the
need
best.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine, thank you. And then Taylor takes a
We'll
piece of
be
ham off
fine.
his
You're
face.
fine. You're always fine, aren't you? I just rolled a 20 for nothing.
Oh my god.
And he
Sorry.
heads, I'll see you on the morrow, my friends.
On the morrow.
On the morrow, Master Thornton.
The way
Thank
he
you
just face
again.
You're
Enjoy
very
your
welcome.
ham.
I'll see you soon. Just like staggers out, starts singing a jaunty but quite filthy song as he wanders down the road, and you hear him kind of disappear out of sight. And now you have the tap room to yourselves.
Oh no. Okay, so everybody, I know everybody's tired, not everybody's drunk, but I have many people drunk. But I think that we should, you know, I think that we should support Albrecht. I like that guy. I think he's cool. I like that guy. I think he's talking about many things for Phandalin. Feel free to interrupt me at any time. You know, it's okay this time because we've been drinking. It's fine.
Next is just
Anyway.
he threw this awesome party. We should definitely.
What?
We should definitely.
Fuck the
He's
party.
a cool guy.
It doesn't matter.
He's a cool guy.
Just because, you know what? Just because somebody throws you a party, just because they pay for your room and buy you drinks and all that, sometimes they're just buttering you up. You know what I mean? So it's just like that stuff does not matter. Like the big picture the big picture is that, you know, like, what does he want for the town? Does he want to, like, become some kind of authority that, you know, screws over the farmers and things like that? You have to think about that kind of stuff too, right? Like, you don't want to support somebody that then, like, actually oppresses people, you know? Because then you have to, like, murder them or oust them somehow, and it never turns out good.
Murder is always option one.
Certainly not above.
I'm not lugging that body to the sharks. I'm just saying.
I'm just sitting there with my goblet, and I'm certainly not above that.
Well, Project Carrier.
Okay, so I see many of us come from similar experiences, so you know, nobody was surprised about the murder. You know, it's fine.
I think, given what we know about Master Holbrecht, our first impressions are good.
All right. That's
Tentatively, I agree with his proposal, with his plan, because in the immediate term, what's the alternative? Stagnation.
good. Right.
No progress either up or down.
This is true.
Change never happens without risk. There's always risk involved.
And we've done pretty well with risk so far.
Yes. But to minimize that risk, we have to act with as much information as possible.
Want to talk to Wester?
Yeah, me too, actually.
I'd like
I want to know
yeah.
what his reasons are for staying there.
I mean, we can
wanna-
see if he'll talk to us, but he doesn't seem very
No, he'll talk to
very
us.
willing.
No, he will talk.
He'll
to
talk
us.
to us. He'll talk to us.
Yeah, you'll
Maybe
just open the
not
door
if we go
again.
up there as if we go up there as a posse or whatever, I don't know that he will talk to us. But if you know what I mean, like if we approach, like sometimes you have to treat people gently. Sometimes you have to like put on your child gloves and like, you know.
At the end of the day,
Mal
Wester's
looks confused.
At the end of the day, Wester's a banker. He's a businessman. He responds to negotiation, to...
So we show up with money.
Perhaps
I
not.
don't
I want to
No,
pay him money. I
no.
just want to ask him questions.
Money's useless to a man like Wester. He has all the money he'll ever need. What we have to find out what he wants. If we're to get him to open his door, both literally and metaphorically, we have to find out what buttons to push. I think that Toblin and Greywind may have the answers to that. So if we speak to Wester, we should do so last. Forewarned is forearmed. Am I right?
I think so.
I mean, like we could talk to Wester last, but if we talk to Wester first, then maybe we could, we go with more information to Lenine and to Toblin, if that makes sense. Like we talked to Wester, and Wester doesn't give a shit about the mayor title, so I don't know why you are opposed to Albrecht. If Albrecht is in charge, then he brings more traffic and you make more money. Like, you know what I mean? Or, you know, in Toblin's case, like, suppose it's like if Albrecht is in charge, then it's still a council, and Wester doesn't want it anyway. You know, what is going to change? Perhaps another inn opens because you don't want all the traffic or whatever. You want it to keep slow. So it doesn't really matter. I don't know.
I think... Ultimately, we're going to have to speak to all three.
Or, sure.
But I think that speaking to Wester is the riskiest of them all.
Like...
Because...
To cause a problem?
Possibly.
Okay.
How best to put this?
I think I know what you're saying. If we're seen to be testing the waters of the other side, perhaps the other two might not be so free with information. I don't know.
If we enter into a conversation with Wester without as much information as possible. We may poison the well, so to speak. He may reach out somehow, and at that point, Toblin and Greywind may be less forthcoming.
Like set up a political defense of some sort. If he ends up being like, oh, I want to stay mayor for some reason. That makes sense. I get it. Because there could be a hidden reason why he stays mayor. Like, we can't assume to know everything. Okay, that makes sense.
So at that, Nick stands up, starting to look a bit green around the gills. Just like, I'm going to go out and get some fresh air. I'll be back soon.
Okay, be careful.
Sort of staggers over to the
Before she
front door.
leaves, can I establish a psychic connection?
Mhm.
I get 1 use per day, and it lasts for 3 hours. I rolled my d6; it's 3 hours. And then in her mind, I'm gonna say, if anything happens, you know how to contact me.
And you just hear back like, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. She gets outside and you're starting now to regret that psychic.
Definitely was sick.
Not everything. I'm not always jacked into her brain.
So she's outside chuddering, and she comes back in like a few minutes later, and you just hear in your head, I feel much better now.
I thought you were going for a walk. I thought you were going to go wandering, not just to go, upchuck. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So thanks for looking after me.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed now. And as she
I think
walks
it
past
is
the
time
table,
for
she's
bed.
like, good night, everybody. See you in the morning.
Good night.
Good night, Nick.
She
Good
goes
night,
to bed.
Nox.
Nix and Nox disappear upstairs, and she just collapses face down on her bed, like.
I think it is time to go to bed.
By this time, Mal's bear cloak is kind of hanging off the side of him because he's just so drunk. It doesn't look anywhere near as regal now. It's just
Excellent.
sort of slopes off to bed.
Weirdly, the skinny goth seems to have held his liquor really well. Good constitution score. So
Right. Okay, so as you all make your way off the bed. I don't know how cruel I want to be here. I think I want to be pretty cruel. So as you all make your way off the
What
bed,
are we fighting?
as you all make your way off the bed, I want everyone to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh
I
boy.
was just stop us being sick.
hey, I'm pretty.
I definitely.
decent
I got a
at that.
9.
I got 19.
I roll like shit.
12. It could have been worse.
I got 7.
Okay, let me just check what.
Anything sub 10 is probably guaranteed to have an issue.
Y'all gonna fall down the stairs?
No, we're just gonna wake up in a pool of our own vomit. Is what's gonna
Oh
happen.
no.
How hungover are we?
So that was a con save, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
11. Okay, so Vale, you said you're a 9.
9.
Who rolled a 7?
Mal.
Mal. Okay. So Vale and Mal, on waking in the morning, your head is absolutely pounding, and you feel sick to your stomach, like your tongue feels like a crackhead's carpet, just disgusting and dry, and just you're fucked. So both of you please add a point of exhaustion.
Condition.
I don't know.
That's a phrase. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Something like a crackhead's carpet.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh wait. Is it too late to use my inspiration? I would have been gone by morning anyway, right? So I can't use it.
Yeah, you had
Okay.
yesterday to use it, unfortunately.
I don't know how to add these things.
If
So I
you
think it's
click
in
on
your...
conditions. Underneath your hit points, there's a conditions box. And if you click on it, it opens up another box to the right. And at the very bottom, you can add a level of exhaustion.
And a level of
See
exhaustion.
saving throws, senses, proficiencies in language.
No, it's on the right side, on the top right, underneath your hit points.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay. So that is... you have disadvantage on ability checks until your next long rest.
Exhaustion. Go away, roll, dice roll. What, so exhaustion level 1?
Exhaustion level 1, yeah.
Okay. Have we had a long rest?
Just
you'll
did.
you'll have...
Alright.
But
Yeah.
Not that we did anything in between the other two.
Your point of exhaustion is for your hangover rather than your lack of rest. Okay, so
I slept, but I did not rest. Been there.
been there. Yep. So it's the difference between you got sleep and you passed out. Okay. So you wake the morning following the party. You go downstairs to find Toblin already busying about his day, cleaning up after the party, polishing tables, cleaning glasses. You know, busying himself around with dwarvish efficiency. Do any of you want to have breakfast?
I just need some coffee.
Always breakfast.
I feel like a pig shat in my head.
Oh god.
So Toblin just brings your usual assortment of breakfast goods and leaves you to it. He's like,
Something greasy. I need something greasy.
and he just pops down like sausages and bacon and fried eggs and
Everything
much bread
greasy.
as much bread as you could possibly want the carbo load with. Everything that you could need to get a hungover body moving is there in front of you.
Nico's just sitting across the table, crunching bacon, drinking black coffee, looking at him going, "You two look dreadful."
Feel dreadful.
Feel dreadful.
Next
I
is like,
should not
I
have
feel
drank all
surprisingly well this morning.
Oh my god. Godza.
So, how you want to
I
do
am
it?
useless this morning. I cannot do anything.
So, how this is going to work then? So, if you're choosing to have the conversations with Toblin and Lenine with a view to bringing them both around to Holbrick's way of thinking, that is going to be best 3 out of 5 skill check. Okay, so the DCs will ascend or will increase as we go. So your first attempt at whatever you're attempting will be the lowest DC, and it'll increase with each success. I am not going to be prescriptive about what checks you make. It will depend very much on how you roleplay this and how you ask questions or what points you put across, or however you guys sort of want to do this. So 3 out of 5 successful skill checks will result in that particular NPC siding with Holbricht. 3 out of 5 fails will result in them siding with Wester.
Can we talk to them freely before we start making skill checks to gather info?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So it's like you tell me, like, if you want to ask questions and gather info, and then be like, okay, well, I'm now going to try and say this, blah 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 blah, to persuade them. Then I'll say, well, okay, we'll make the persuasion check then off the back of that. Or if you want to like I'm going to stand up and try and look tough and be like, you better vote with, then it would be an intimidation check, etc., etc. But like free reign to be as creative with that as you want to be. But that's how it will work, and that would be your success criteria.
Right.
Which is why it was cool to give 2 of you a point of exhaustion just now.
Mm-hmm. Like it's gonna be 3 out of 5, but I'm not making any fucking rolls today.
This is all 3. This is all charisma stuff. Yes.
So who do you want to go and speak to first?
Mom, we're in the bar, right, with Tublin?
Well, I mean, no, there's thought of Toblin, but I feel like the person who's going to be the most difficult to convince is Lanine, Labrine.
How busy is Toblin anyway?
He's like in terms of customers, like you're pretty much the only ones that the rest of Phandalin seem to be taking their time rising this morning. But he's keeping himself busy and occupied. He doesn't, the only customers in his tap room to serve are you, though.
Okay. I think he may be right. We should speak to Lanine first.
Okay.
All right.
Next is just
So we go over there.
Let's do this then. Let's go speak to. We want to go and speak to Lanine.
Everybody is so loud.
Okay. So we're heading for the Lion Shield Costa. Speak to Lanine.
Yep.
It's gonna follow everybody. Just her hood up.
Never mind. You said that it goes away to long rest.
Is that?
I was about to ask about exhaustion, but then I remembered you told us already, and I just totally blanked.
You lose one. You lose 1 point of exhaustion per long rest.
Okay.
So if you've got like 3 or 4, it'll take 3 or 4 long rests. Okay, so you arrive at the Costa again, just as they're sort of opening up, and Lanine greets you and good morning.
Good morning.
I understand there was a party thrown in your honour last night. How was your evening? Did you enjoy it?
Quite festive, yes. Thank you.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. And she looks at Vale and she looks at Mal and she says, I can see that some of you enjoyed the evening more than others. Do come in, please, and we can talk inside.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way in, and the usual kind of sights and sound of the Costa greet you. Somewhere in the back, there's armour being forged and hammered out or whatever, and the 2 shop boys kind of busy themselves around, sort of polishing weapons, polishing armour, cleaning surfaces, and tidying up displays and stuff like that. Well, that one that like the look of Wisp sort of keeps glancing sort of sideways, looks in her direction. Lanine kind of walks you up to her desk at the back of the store. What can I do for you this morning? Surely you can't be in need of more weapons and arms already.
No, not actually, what brings us here this morning is information.
Seeking or providing?
Perhaps a little bit of both.
I'm very curious. What can I do for you then? How can I help?
Well, we've been informed that there's some discontent, I suppose is perhaps the word, and as far as the local politics go, particularly with regard to the current mayor. I wonder if you might be able to shed some light on that for me.
I mean, I don't think it's much of a secret to say that that Wester, you know, he's no inspirational leader, certainly, and you know, ever since all this business with the dragon, he's been somewhat absent. I can see perhaps why, with that in mind, certain individuals within the town or within the town council may find themselves dissatisfied with his leadership. Why do you ask?
Our dealings with Master Wester have been, shall we say, less than stellar. My impression of the man is not good. And I hear that I suppose it's no secret by now that we've worked with Master Halbricht, hence the soiree the previous evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard tell that you are not a fan of his either. I'm curious as to why.
Call it instinct or call it intuition. I think there is more to the man than is presented. And I don't. He doesn't quite. He doesn't have my trust. At the moment, with anything other than running the mining exchange.
I guess Mal could butt in a second and say, what has he done anything that would make you not trust him?
There's no specific incident that I can really bring to mind. More of just a general sense of uneasiness whenever I'm in his presence. Since I was posted to Phandalin by the Lion Shields, he has, I would say, tried too hard to use my contacts back to Neverwinter without really doing anything that either inspires my confidence to allow him access to those contacts, or overtly doing anything that makes me wary of doing so. But more just a general sense of the man. I think I feel like, yeah, I just feel like there is more there than the public image that he presents.
Okay.
Here.
Why the sudden interest in my feelings about Halbricht Thornton?
You. And we want to know why you don't like to be here. That's we. Forget about Holbrook right now. Just I'm curious about you.
But me?
Yeah.
And what makes you think I don't want to be here?
I don't know. That's what people say. That's what People say, oh, Lenine, she hates it here. She just doesn't want to be here, or she got posted here, and then nobody, and then she doesn't seem like she wants to be here.
It's and in my line of work, you sort of you go where you're sent. The Lion Shields, as you'll be aware, have outposts and costers all throughout the Sword Coast and into the interior. I grew up in Neverwinter. I began my career with the Lion Shields in Neverwinter. I was something of a prodigy, and came up quickly through their ranks, and when I was eventually worked my way up to being trusted to run my own Costa, I just didn't expect to be sent to a backwater. I had a good relationship with the Lion Shields, and they certainly rated my work and my ability to run a profitable business, and my for what it is, my skill with spellcasting and the arcane has always been a boon. I just didn't expect to be sent to a backwater like Phandalin, and now I've been here for 10 years almost, and there appears to be no sign of
Grow, right?
of the Lion Shields rewarding me for my hard work and moving me to somewhere better.
But you don't share in Master Albrecht's vision of creating like the Phandalin becoming a trade town, being on the Tribon Trail in between the places.
With more
Neverwinter
travelers,
and
you'll have more
Baldur's
customers.
Gate.
I mean, more customers, for any business is a good thing. It's not that I'm necessarily opposed to, more traffic.
It's not opposed to the idea, it's opposed to who's the one doing the idea.
Through the town. Yeah, exactly. It's not that I'm...
But I don't understand.
It's not that I'm opposed to the plan, it's my issue is more with the source of that plan.
But isn't that the whole point of a council? Is my brain not working 100%? Like,
I've got something. I'd like to use one of my persuasion checks on my next line of dialogue.
Okay.
The way I see it, you want to move up in the world. You don't want to be stuck in a backwater, but you're in a unique position. Even though if Hallbreck were mayor, you dislike the man, but you're in a position to turn Phandalin into something other than a backwater, am I right?
How so?
As a member of the town council, you have a say in town business. He has a plan. Dislike the man or not, it's a plan, and plan beats no plan, which is what Wester has. As you said, 10 years of stagnation, that's an eternity in a business.
Wester's fault. That is Wester.
Make a persuasion check.
10.
Just with advantage, but since I have disadvantage on everything, I can't really be the one to help, I feel.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she sort of takes a moment and she's nodding. And she says, I see the point that you're making.
Mm-hmm.
There is value to that, certainly.
I'm gonna fucking make a roll too. So I mean, Lenine, like, if you think about it, like, you know, no offense or anything, but if it's been 10 years and you've been stagnating, and then, you know, perhaps you do not like the way that Master Albrecht, like, presents himself. I mean, he seems like an okay guy. He's been good to us. I mean, I don't know what dealings. If you said you don't have anything specific that he did, but for us, I mean, he's been a stand-up guy, even though he kind of acts a little smarmy. But you can't judge somebody like that. Anyway, I feel like, you know, perhaps you need to make some changes, right? Like, you have to make things happen for yourself by doing. God, my head hurts. You have to make things for yourself happen. You have to make things happen for yourself, rather. And I feel like, you know, what's the difference if it's Harbin or if it's Wester? You have a council. You do the voting. You know what I mean? Like, don't you trust yourself?
Might be worth a try. And then if things go south, you can always just vote him out too. Just like Western.
Yeah. Like,
Okay. Since Whisper's helping you, make a persuasion check, just a straight roll.
Oh, I rolled a 15 plus 6, 21, baby.
Okay. So she's nodding a bit more vigorously now.
Mm-hmm.
You just need something to
But I
push
do
it
agree with you,
slightly.
he's a little sus. Let's just not dismiss that.
I have to go outside for a second. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very sick.
I don't-
I'm sick.
As a general rule, I don't fully trust anyone, so I understand the impulse. I understand the hesitancy. But I come from a background of business, like you. So sometimes you have to set personal feelings aside for the sake of the business, do you not?
I was fully expecting her to say, "And where is your business?"
Mm.
I don't know why I
None of
pictured her so
yours.
sassy.
But yeah, I don't think I want to use a check on that. I'm just kind of throwing that out there as food for thought.
Yeah.
Um,
My whole feels about it is that it's just like, well, you like, overall it's a good idea. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's better for it to be moving in a direction of growth versus just not doing anything anyway. And then, you know, but yeah, I do get the whole cess thing, because
yeah.
why is he anyway.
And plus, I do want to use another check on this line, because I think this might be the one. You mentioned that the Lion Shield, the Costers sent you to a backwater. Now imagine going back to Neverwinter after turning this town into a new trade hub. Think of how that would gall the people who sent you here all those years ago. Think about riding back home to Neverwinter in triumph.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you for... Not a persuasion check on that one, because it's a bit more sort of requiring her to use her imagination. So I'm going to ask you for a performance check for that, please.
Ooh, okay. I'm slightly not as good at that, but we'll see. Good lord. 9.
Okay. She seems unswayed by that.
Man, I thought that one would work. I'm supposed to be good at these skills, come on.
Is that
Okay.
all of our...
No, so you've got you've got two passes and a fail so far.
Okay.
One more pass.
Yeah.
One more pass or two more fails.
We don't need 2 more fails.
Do I really want to take another crack at that? I'm running out of avenues here.
See, I don't know what happens if I try and do anything with this exhaustion on me. What does that mean?
Means you're any check that you're rolling with disadvantage. So it means you roll 2 dice, you roll 2 d20s for the check, and you take the lowest roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Everything I want to ask is wrong. Because I'm seeing how it could backfire. I'm trying not to like.
See, I've got good sentences. I'm just not sure I got the rolls to back them up.
So she's not sweet. I have to mute this music for a bit. It's just going around in my head. You say to it. I'm trying to think like an RPG of like what the options would be. Like
You're limiting yourself.
I know.
Because my thing is like, okay, would you be okay with going forward if it just wasn't under him? But then I don't want that to become like, well, maybe you should do it, and then like cut him out and then backstab us.
Not,
You know?
Okay.
Not really.
So Nix is gonna pipe up at this point, and say, "Look, you've agreed with us that there is some merit to his plan. That it would be good for the town to have more traffic coming through, and it would be good for your business and potentially in turn your reputation with your employer. So what is it going to take to get you on side? Does anyone want to help with a check?
Yeah, I could help with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it will be an investigation check. Because
I'm terrible at those.
sort of probing.
I got an 11.
Okay, so that's another fail as well then. And well, I'll go with advantage since you were helping.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's another fail.
Shit.
So we're 2 for 2
Just gonna
now,
say,
right?
My God, it's getting down to the wire. Okay.
So in response, Lenine kind of says, more traffic and more business isn't going to, move the needle for the Lion Shields. There would need to be some sort of contract formed between myself on behalf of the Lion Shield Costa and the town of Phandalin to provide a significant quantity of weapons and arms. If this growing Phandalin were to include a garrison or a militia, then a contract to equip that garrison or militia might be enough to get me out of here.
Lenine, that actually specifically came up in other conversations. Since this is like Phandalin is the route to the inner lands or whatever, and then we're between Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate, and the plan. There is a plan to actually create a barracks and a militia and a garrison here.
It's a shame you weren't at the party. Holbrook himself mentioned that.
That is a serious, what is it called? Intention for the leadership. And Arvin Wester has not been doing anything, and he hides from the dragon, and he's an idiot. We talked to him.
Okay. So, amongst yourself, decide who's rolling this potentially final or absolutely final persuasion check, because this is your 5th check.
Persuasion check?
Yeah.
I've got a +7 modifier, but I've been
I could-
rolling like hot garbage.
I've got +3, but I'm on disadvantage.
So
I could, but I've rolled only one
DC
good
for
one.
this check. Your DC for this check is a 15.
Nico, I think you should do it.
I will tell you that up front. So you're going to need to roll an 8 or
Okay.
greater.
Is there any way anybody can assist me for this, or am I just flat
Haven't
rolling?
we all been assisting?
Okay, roll it with advantage then, since everyone else has chipped in some words.
Okay. Yeah. 25.
Nice.
Smoked it. Okay. So, on the basis that that is part of his intent, you can inform Master Thornton that if he will commit to a contract between the town of Phandalin and the Lion Shield Costa to provide arms and armour for any militia, garrison, protective force, constabulary, whatever the town puts in place, then he will have my support for his attempt at becoming mayor.
I feel like that is an easy ask. I feel like that is perfectly fine.
I'm actually going to bow after she says that and say, I thank you for your cooperation and your consideration. You've been most helpful.
Elf.
We'll let you know if anything
Yeah.
comes up and we find out he is actually shit.
Yes, and do have him inform me as soon as possible. Whether he's amenable to my terms.
Certainly.
Thank you. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Unless you have something that can get rid of this headache and this nausea, then no, I'm fine.
I'm afraid you're just going to have to drink water and tough that one out like the rest of us.
Oh, water.
Again, I thank you, Mistress Greywind.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Broken Blades, but let's go on with my work day. Thank you.
As must we. I'll make my way away and toward the door.
Okay. So, you now have potentially one of the town council on side out of the 2 more that you need. What do you want to do now? Do you want to go and speak to Holbrook? Your conversation with Lynn?
Can't we long rest because I'm stressed the fuck out?
Or do you want to go speak to Toblin?
It sounded like she wanted an answer about the garrison pretty damn quick, so I think we should probably put a bug in Hallberg's ear about that.
Okay.
Anybody have any other thoughts?
I mean, it was already a plan of his.
Mhm.
So I think we should just kind of feel around with the other ones first and then like reiterate that later.
Yeah, just go back to him with all the information we've gathered all at once.
Mhm.
He made promises of us before he discussed it with us. I don't see a problem with making promises of him before discussing it with him.
He did also sign us up as his own like personal
That's what I'm saying.
squad. So I'm like,
You know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't agree, then we just, whatever.
yeah.
Fair point.
We make the deals here.
Okay. So to Toblin.
Dolben,
Okay, so back to
back to the tavern.
the tavern. Okay, as you go into you get into the tap room, as you kind of back up through the town, you see that the place is starting to come a bit to life now. There are a few weary-looking heads sort of wandering around and making their way towards the tavern for probably a hair of the dog or for some breakfast. As you get into the Stonehill Inn, the lunchtime rush is sort of just starting to pick up.
Oh boy.
We have really bad timing
he
talking to
kind
this
of
dude.
tugs his forelock as you enter, and he kind of acknowledges you're there, but he's busy sort of serving customers at the moment.
Not a sprint, everybody. We don't have to worry about. We can just wait. We just sit here. We sit here and watch people, and it's fine. We just wait.
Mm-hmm.
So like this time, rather than sort of waiting for orders because he is a bit off his feet, he just sort of pops over, drops down some sort of like bread and cheese and cold cuts and stuff, and a couple of sort of tankards of ale, and so apologies, I'm a bit off my feet at the moment. You can make do with this just now, and I can maybe catch you a year later if there's something else that you want to get. And he just takes off and starts busying about after his customers again.
Ulrich did not tell us that we needed to be done by a certain time, right? He was just like, go talk to them, and we said okay.
The town sat for 10 years. Another couple of hours won't kill it.
Thank you.
So as you sort of sit and try and recover yourselves after your evening and have your sort of simple lunch and a couple of ales each, day starts to feel like it's going a little bit easier now that you've been up for a little while and you've had a bit of a hair of the dog and stuff. So anything you guys want to talk through before we speak with Toblin?
Was Toblin against him?
Toblin is still pro-Western.
For some reason.
Out why he is pro-Western. Maybe
Yeah,
I
we
think
need to
Toblin
find
is
out what's
probably
going
the
on.
type who doesn't want anything to change.
And it sounds like he has a more personal connection than Lenine. Lenine's much more practically minded.
So time
That's
goes
going
on
to
and the lunchtime rush starts to slow, and Toblin eventually sort of makes his way back over to you.
He's like, you've been here all day, get the fuck out.
And he's just like, do you know, like, as
Here.
things are starting to quiet down now, Toblin, he kind of makes his way over to you, like with his own flagon of beer in hand, and he sits down and he's like, you don't mind if I join you for a little while, do you?
Please.
That's
So
a
he
calm
kind
no,
of takes a
down.
drink
Not
of his
at all.
beer. He's like, the last couple of days, not that I'm complaining, but my goodness, I have been so busy this last couple of days. I rushed off my feet. It's nice to just sit down, pass the time, and be able to have a drink myself. And he just kind of relaxes into his chair and starts drinking his beer.
Ironic that the person who serves the beer gets to enjoy it the least. Am I right?
It's always the way. It's always the way. Cobbler's children's with holes in their shoes. I think when I eventually have enough money to start my own brewery, I think I'll hire someone to run this place and just live.
Would you ever consider selling?
I've never thought of it before. I think that this place means a bit too much to me, actually. I don't think I
How
ever
much,
would sell.
How much money do you mean? How much money? Well, about how much would it take for you to start your own brewery?
Oh, more than I've got. More than I've got disposable anyway. I mean, buy the land, build the premises, supply it, with tanks and vats and barrels
how would
and
you feel
staff and.
How would you feel if this town was busier and you had more customers?
If I were running the inn and the town were busier, I don't know how I would handle it. It's been bad enough the last couple of days with just the 5 of you extra, and a few more people coming in the evening. It's really taken out of me. Being busy this last couple of days. I much prefer it when I've got a nice slow pace of work.
Well, maybe with more customers comes more profit. You can hire more staff and you can take a step back.
Delegation.
I don't know. How much land do you think you need for a brewery?
I mean, my vision in my head, I've always had Stonehill Ale would just be in like, one of those brand names that replaces the thing itself. I'm going to like people would say I'm going out for a Stonehill instead of I'm going out for a beer.
Yeah, you know what is interesting is like how like Phandalin is an interesting place to establish a brewery like that, because you're like in between the big cities of Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate, so like it's a great distribution center, isn't it?
Okay, make your first persuasion check off that one, please.
Whoa, I was okay, cool. I rolled at a disadvantage, by the way, because I do have a disadvantage on skill checks. My low roll is an 8 plus 6 is 14.
Okay. He's sort of nodding contemplatively and taking a sip of his beer. Yeah.
So no, it's a pretty cool thought, isn't it?
I mean, we are well located. I know that Barthen does a lot of trade with the interior and.
Oh yeah, the interior, the Triborn. That's true too. I was just thinking of coast.
Ivor Trail. And I hear that you have some family history with Phandalin, am I correct?
Yes, my family, the Stonehills, come from this area but back in previous ages, when this was a dwarven city. My family were quite prominent here. Sorry, that's fucking cool everything.
Yeah. You sound like you're staticking underwater.
Yeah, it's weird.
The stuff in the background.
Can that wait just now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yep, there you go.
Thanks.
We're in the middle of a tavern here, Jay.
So yes, as I say, my family were quite prominent here back when Phandalin was a dwarven settlement, and so I've always felt a great connection to this area.
Mm. It's a shame that it's not.
Okay, you go.
No, you go ahead. I'll chip in a second.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you could really put your name on the map here if the town was to expand and become a bit more of a trading hub.
Yeah, I guess so. If the town were a bit more of a trading hub, I guess it would be easier to trade, to send goods up and down the coast and into the interior.
Especially if
do
the
make a good point.
leaders of the town were to like grant you some land and assist with the building of a brewery. You know what I mean? In the what is it called? With the intent of helping to support a good commerce and create brands that come out of Phandalin. You know, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I guess in an ideal world, what are you driving at?
Well, you heard the announcements last night, correct?
I mean, about I was busy, so I mean, I heard some conversation later in the evening about your group being signed by Mr. Thornton to act as, you know, protectors of the town, which is, you know, welcome news as far as I'm concerned. But
Well, Mr. Thornton's got some grand ideas for this town and wants to go for leadership. So, how would you feel if there was a change in leadership in Phandalin?
I mean, you know, Mr. Wester's been good for the town. He was one of the first to settle here. He, you know, he opened the bank and gave, you know, an essential service to the people, the first ones who came here to settle. And I think there's a degree to which we owe him some loyalty from that. I think that it is unfortunate that since all this dragon business, he has been a bit absent. But I don't think that necessarily means that, you know, he's sort of run out of road with the town. I think you know, he has been a great servant of Phandalin, and there's, you know, we owe him a bit of loyalty. I understand where Mr. Thornton's coming from. Sometimes I think that one's too ambitious by half. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand loyalty, but 10 years is a long time, my friend. That's a long time for a town like this, as well located as it is, with such a rich history.
There's good opportunities for it too.
That's quite a lot. It should be enough to make you question, shouldn't it?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh boy, I'm bad at that.
I mean, with advantage since Whispers contributing there as well.
Well, good, because I rolled an 8.
Contributed like one word.
Rolled a 10. It's slightly better.
But not better enough. But
No.
okay.
I have a 0 mod investigation. I'm bad at it.
Just like, I mean, so again, he's like, I mean, this is all well and good, but this is a bit of a, you know, a bit of a fantasy world that we're talking about just now, right? Like, none of this is an actual reality. So,
Fantasy world, or do you feel like maybe the past 10 years of shitty leadership has made you feel like nothing is possible? You have to think of, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to think of possibility. You can't just go through life like wanting everything to stay the same. It gets boring, don't you think?
And maybe having an ambitious leader would be good for that.
How it doesn't change you. It just changes, like, why. I don't understand why people don't want, like, what about everybody else? The farmers, you know what I mean? The other business owners who want to, you know, like, if you, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't get it.
These aren't unrealistic goals, my friend.
My father had a saying, the difference between possibility and fantasy is action. 10 years. As good a man as Wester may be, or may have been, or I'll kind of wave my hand dismissively as if that doesn't particularly matter. This town could be more. And you, as part of the town council, you are in a position to make that happen.
you roll a persuasion check with advantage.
25.
Again?
Yep. 18 plus 7.
Nice. Okay. So that's 2 passes, 1 fail. Well done. So he's top one's saying, "Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I guess, it would be good for the rest of the town, and maybe not just my business, but everyone else's businesses, Bartham's and the Lion Shields, and the farmers who are, growing and raising, and
It's definitely not
maybe
set in
some-
stone. Like, get the ball rolling, and if he turns out to be a big concern or detriment, you guys
Still
can
have the
always
power
get
of
rid
the
of him.
council.
You have the council.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you make some good points, but I mean, what about
If you're worried about Westerners, you're always going to need Banks. He will still be here.
It seems that the title of mayor, what does it mean to him? What has he done with it?
Okay. Make off that with advantage, because there's 2 you contributing to this just now again. Make your next check.
Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you said with advantage?
Mm-hmm.
20.
Cool. Okay. So Toblin kind of sits back in his seat. And strokes his beard and picks up his beer mug and finishes what's in it. And he says, "Okay. I'll support Holbrook's run for mayor. The town, as you suggested, sets aside some land for me to build my brewery, and provides some startup cost. I will contribute some, and
Do you want an
Holbrook.
investment?
Holbrook
Seed
would
money.
need to invest. By the time my own workings for this, by the time land, premises, equipment, raw materials, and then infrastructure, barrels, ponies, carts, employees, and someone to run the inn while I get that business up and running. I think my startup costs are in the region of 2,000 gold. So if Thornton will meet me halfway on that with an investment of 1,000 gold pieces and the land from and a commitment that when he's mayor he will set aside land for me to build that brewery on, then he can have my support.
Okay.
Alright.
We have a lot of negotiating to do.
No, we don't. We will go talk to Harbin. You will. I mean, I am sure that you will get a positive answer within a few days. We have to talk to him first, right? You know what I mean?
Okay, well,
I
you're
think
welcome
it's pretty
to.
fucking cool though that you want to open a brewery. I, for one, cannot wait to spread the news and the brand of Stonehill.
Awesome, thank you. I mean, it's you'll be familiar, I'm sure, with Dwarvish Ale. It is without doubt the finest ales made in the realm of Faerun. It's and my recipe, my family recipe is an ancient and excellent one. So
Is it the one that we've been drinking since we arrived?
unfortunately not. That's not a It's not something I have the ability to produce at the moment. So when we get started,
see.
you'll be able to sample it then.
As long as it's not Gnomish mushroom wine, then we're good.
Oh, you haven't tried that stuff, that purple stuff, have you? No. It's the devil.
God, it's delicious.
The one who threw it.
You yacked it up. Okay, so yeah. So if you bring back a commitment from Thornton that my terms are acceptable to him, and they can have my support.
We'll certainly take your terms to Master Thornton, and I think
Much he wants to be mayor.
I think you'll be on your way to building your dream in no time, my friend.
Glad to hear it. Well, if you excuse me, I better get back to work. It's been a pleasure chatting. Hopefully you'll have some good news for me.
Wonderful day, Torben.
You too. You too. Thank you, everyone. And he goes away and gets behind the bar, and he just kind of absent-mindedly sort of picks up a glass and just starts polishing it, and you can just know that he's just mentally he's inside his brewery already, just making his beer and living his quiet life. Okay.
So, do we want to go talk to Western, or it was Western, right?
Thornton.
We should talk to Wester.
You're going to
Should we talk to him and find out what his deal is, or?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think so too.
I don't know. I kind of want to report those two back to Thornton first before we.
Oh, well, what if we talk to Wester and Wester tells us something that makes us go, "Oh fuck, we don't need to support this guy," and then we can just back out.
That's fair.
Or what if he just willingly is like, I don't want to be married anymore? Then easy.
Yeah.
I had
What if
thought
we
about
find
that.
out that if we had talked to him first, he would have helped us convince everybody else? I don't know. There's so many what ifs.
This is why we
What
need
if
to talk
he's a
to him.
dragon himself?
Yeah. Okay.
I think we
What,
should
you
talk to
good?
Wester.
You're going to go and talk to Harbin Wester?
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
Okay. So you arrive at his house. It's in darkness as usual. It's kind of by this time late afternoon.
I'm sure his door is reinforced now. It is not going to just be a
Yeah.
pick the lock thing. We are going to have to actually convince him to come out and talk to us.
I mean, you do have the wand, right?
That is true.
Yeah, the one
Already forgotten about it.
The one only detects.
Oh, it's
Like,
traps,
it's-
right? Never mind.
Oh, that's yeah. It's traps and secret doors.
Traps and
That's
secret
right.
doors. It doesn't decide.
Do we think he'd booby trap the door? I mean, how paranoid is this guy?
So?
I just think
Since
it's a
you
lot.
do notice that since your last visit, there is a lot more hardware on the front of the door.
Yeah.
It looks like he's added a couple of new locks and reinforced the hinges and stuff like that. The door's
You knock
banded
on
with
his
iron.
door.
I still can't get over that situation.
Let's get Mal to knock on his door. He's scarier.
No, he's worse
Doing
now.
today.
We don't want to make him scared, though.
You
Why?
don't
He didn't
we?
like Mal before, and now Mal's
Don't
some like beefy barbarian man. Makes it worse.
It's proven
you guys,
fact that you can't. If you intimidate somebody, they're just gonna tell you what you want to hear, not the truth.
You don't actually
We're
intimidate
not-
him. Tell him to
We
get
don't need to convince Wester of anything. We just need to find out information.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we just need to get him to talk to us, don't we? Is he talking to us?
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay.
Okay.
You knock on the door. No answer.
It is Vale from the Broken Blades and everybody else from the Broken Blades. We're just here to talk to you about your mayorship. Do you even want to be mayor? Harbin
Don't
Wester,
want to.
you're not mayor anymore, okay? Bye.
Oh my god, we just decided.
No, from within, just no sign that anyone's home. No sign of life.
Does it
no,
smell like anything? Does it smell like death?
Make a perception check.
I was gonna say that has to be some kind of check.
That'd be interesting.
That is an 11.
Okay.
He's got to be pretty dead for me to smell him.
I mean, there's nothing, nothing that you smell. I mean, you've seen this house in this state before. Did
he just skip town?
That he's just not answering the, not been answering the door, not wanting to give away his presence. Since your last interaction with him, as well, he may just be being a bit more careful than. Equally, he might be dead. With an 11, you can't really tell.
Harbin Wester is the worst mayor ever.
I got a question. This is going to sound super weird. How big is this guy's house?
Compared to the rest of the houses in Phandalin, it is pretty big. It is the only 2-floored private residence in the town. The rest of them are all sort of single-story buildings. But his is a 2-story building.
You say bigger than 30 feet?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm thinking, because one of the spells that I haven't used yet is Minor Illusion, which can make sounds. So I'm thinking, what if this guy hears a dragon roaring from inside of his own house?
Okay.
You think that would work? Can I get the party's thoughts on that?
I think it's a great idea.
It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do. I'm just
Is it
loud?
It says you create a sound or an image of an object within range. If you create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. So I can alter the volume. Basically, I was trying to figure out, that was why I was asking about the size of the house. So I was trying to figure out if I can make it loud enough to scare him without causing the entire town to panic.
Okay. So it would be loud enough that it would be heard inside his house.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, even better. Even better. I got a better idea. Instead of like a dragon roaring, what about like the sounds of it stalking around, like footsteps, low throaty gurgles, heavy breathing, that kind of thing. Can I do that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I want to do that. Make him feel like there's something in the house that he has to get away from.
Okay.
Just locked a dragon inside his house with him and he doesn't know it.
I'm a mean bastard.
Okay. Okay. As you do that, and you let that illusion run for sort of a few minutes, you do hear some sort of scrabbling around inside, and the sound of sort of doors banging and locks being locked. But no one exit the building.
So he just went further into his house or something.
Damn, it's worth
Is there any window that I can see inside at all?
Yeah.
If I walk
there's
around,
the first floor windows that you've seen
I
them
can
sort of
see
twitching.
inside. Like I can just like
at
see
you.
the floor.
I mean, there are sort of shutters and things like that on the, so you have a sort of restricted view inside.
Yeah.
If you want to look for something specific, you can make an investigation.
I just want to look for. I just want to look inside and see if I can see any piece of like a floor. I want to misty step inside his house.
Okay. So yeah,
I have
so
to
you
see
can
my destination. That's all.
you can see inside enough. You can
Okay.
misty step inside. So
I'm gonna misty step inside. Yep.
So you
Harbin
dissipate into
Wester!
mist. You reappear as mist inside the house.
Miz is just terrorizing this man. First broken to his house is in his house.
Mhm. Like, Wester's now thanking his lucky stars that there are no sharks in the vicinity. Okay, so yeah, you're inside the house, you yell, no answer.
No answer.
Unlock the front door so we can go
Yeah.
outside.
I'm not gonna unlock the door yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak through the house and see if I can find him. Like,
Okay. So the room that you're in is at the front of the house. Is a dining room.
Okay.
There's quite a grandiose sort of 12-person dining table at it, but just white sheets over everything, as if it's not been.
Does he have any
as if
pictures
it's
of
not in
family?
use.
Like any paintings of like family?
There's a
or anything
portrait of
like that?
himself above a fireplace in the dining room. There.
Just him alone?
Just him alone.
Okay.
That tells us everything we need to know.
Okay. Essentially, I want to go find him.
Okay, make an investigation check.
See if maybe make sure I don't have anything that'll help me find him sooner. Dark vision shifting. What's the other thing that I have? Make a investigation check.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use one of my psionic. I'm going to use my psi bolstered knack to add a d6 to that. You said investigation. Shit, 9. If I
Why the
fail, I don't
D6?
use my. Well, it's 4 plus 2 for my d6 plus 3 for my investigation, so that's a 9.
Fucking
I know.
hell.
I rolled like shit. I rolled like
That's-
ass.
That's absolute dog shit rolling. Okay. You take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You search around the house. You look kind of everywhere. You look under the beds and in the cupboards, and you find nothing.
I'll go open the front
no-
door.
no-
I cannot
no sign
find
of
this
this.
guy. He's not here.
All right. So we're all going inside now at this point.
Yeah, we need to find him.
Okay. Should
I'll find
we
signs
also
that he's
roll
not-
checks to see if we can find him?
I'm gonna sit at the.
Um,
I checked. I'm gonna sit at the dining room table and eat an apple or something, or whatever fruit I find
Okay.
on
you sit and
his
you
white.
find an apple from his kitchen and you start munching. Okay, so if you want to try and find him, or if you want to search his house properly, I should say, then you're going to have to go room by room at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
I should have rolled a disadvantage too, and I didn't, but I failed, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I guess we'll check the bedroom. Can I check the bedroom?
Okay. So you go upstairs. As you reach the top of the stairs, there's a door to your right, a door to your left, a window in front of you, which just looks back out onto the town square. The doors either side of you seem just to be the two bedrooms of the house, and at the end of that corridor, around to the right, there's another little offshoot, which is looks like a study. So do you want to? You can check any or all of those rooms.
I'll just check the first door then.
Okay.
I'll
so
check the
door on-
study.
So Malfeasance, go ahead and make an investigation check for me for the first bedroom.
Am I still at disadvantage with my...
Yeah, your point of exhaustion.
I'm still exhausted even though I had lunch, right? Okay.
Long rest for the exhaustion to go away.
Oh, 17 first.
17. Okay. So
Or I guess like I think a
Oh,
greater restoration
18!
would help.
Yeah, so 17.
17.
Disadvantage.
Okay. So the bedroom that you're in looks to be the master bedroom, in terms of just like its size compared to the other one, and the kind of grandiosity of the furniture and stuff like that. And the bed does look like it's been slept in, like recently. It doesn't look like nobody's living here. So yeah, the bed looks like it's been slept in. The room looks used. There are kind of there's sort of laundry lying over a chair and stuff like that. But nothing, you have a good old search around under beds and wardrobes, kind of feeling along the walls for secrets and what have you, and no sign of Wester. You said you were going to search the study, Nico.
Yes.
Let's have your investigation check.
5.
Oh no.
I gotta quit rolling investigation checks. I suck at it.
Okay, so again, you spend like half an hour in there, for a comparatively small room, turning it over, and again, it looks to be in use. There's sort of there's like a smoking pipe sat that's got like burnt tobacco in it. The room kind of smells of pipe smoke. So yeah, it looks to be in use, but you find nothing in there. So you've searched the dining room, 1 bedroom, study. You have 1 bedroom, a living room, and a kitchen left to search if you wish.
Look underneath the dining room table.
Just dust and nothing interesting.
I think we've learned my investigative skills are precisely nil.
I'll search the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll search rooms too.
Make your investigation check for the kitchen. Well, you do that. Next
Oh,
is
20 and a 13, so 16.
16. Okay.
Yeah. Fucking
So, yeah.
disadvantage, mother. I'm just kidding.
So you again, you sort of search about. You see like remnants of meals that have been looked to have been consumed recently. Nothing's like it's not anything like anything's rotten or anything like that. There is sort of fresh fruit and fresh food lying about the place, but you're not finding any other sign of Lester or any secret doors, secret passages, anything like that. Nix is going to investigate in the living room, and with a 5 finds nothing as well. So, unless you want to check the bedroom or do anything else,
I want to go into the study and use my wand of secrets.
okay. Okay, you go in, you pull the wand, you expend a charge, and nothing. Nothing within 30 feet of you.
Alright, can I check the bedroom?
Okay, make an investigation check for the last bedroom.
Oh, that
A
little
15?
grin.
So again, this looks to be almost like a sort of guest bedroom compared to the other bedroom and the rest of the furniture in the house. It's a bit more simple. It looks like it doesn't see much use. Most of the furniture again is sort of covered in white sheets and stuff, but there's no sign of life or no sign of Harbin Lester in there.
I'm going to
Where
master
the
bedroom,
hell?
and I'm going to use my wand of secrets, second charge.
Nothing.
Okay, so I've done the study and I've done the master. What's the last room should I use this on?
What are the rooms again? Study, master, kitchen.
Dining room, living room.
We already did
bedrooms,
dining.
2 bedrooms, a study. Upstairs and then downstairs.
I mean,
is
maybe
that
living room? Maybe?
Living room.
I'm going to
dining
use
room.
it on the living room.
In the living room. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
last charge.
You use the last charge, and the wand sort of spins in your hand and points towards the kitchen.
Really? In the kitchen? Son of a bitch. There's something in the kitchen. There is something in the kitchen.
So you head in there, and the wand is sort of like a compass needle now,
Like
almost
a
like a
dowsing rod or
like a
whatever.
dowsing
it's
rod,
called.
yeah, pulling you towards a secret door. So in the middle of the kitchen, where there's like a big kind of butcher block kitchen island, the wand is sort of pointing you, pulling you right towards that. As you get closer, you can, through the sort of power of the wand, one end of that, that sort of butcher block island starts to glow. Sort of indicating that that's where there's a secret door.
Secret passage. Let us open it. I'm going to figure out how to open it.
We're all seeing this, right?
Oh yeah, I'm announcing it too.
Yeah, you've seen,
Okay.
seen this sort of. Yeah.
I figure I got fed up poking around the study and came back downstairs. So.
Okay.
Vale definitely waited for everybody to do their thing before she started using the wand.
Gotcha.
Okay. Cool. So, what you trying to do? Open the.
Figure out
Open
the
the secret
mechanism
door.
of how to open the secret door. Yeah.
Okay, so that's an investigation check then.
Can I get assistance from somebody who's down there?
I could
helping
assist.
Me? Can somebody help me? I don't know. Does that mean I can do a
So-
flat roll?
Yeah. Okay. So make it a flat roll. If you and Whisper both looking for mechanisms to open the door.
19.
Okay. Cool. So you find.
Hold on. I'm gonna use my side bolstered knack to add a d6 just in
That's all
case,
right.
because I can't. I have to do it before. Like if I'm just gonna choose to do it. So it's 22, and if it succeeds, then I use it. If it fails, then I don't use it.
Okay. So it succeeds.
Okay. I just want
You
to make sure
find
that I.
you sort of feel round the edges, and you find what feels like a mechanism, sort of hidden behind some sort of false paneling, some really raised paneling. That feels like a locking mechanism.
I open it.
Okay. Make a check with your thieves' tools.
Oh, okay. Nobody can help me here. Oh, a 12 and a 17. So 12 plus 9. 21.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a side bolster die, just in case, because you know what I mean. It's 27 because I rolled a 6.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you sort of break into there with your thieves' tools. The lock to the secret door does come open, and the panel sort of slips back and slides out to the side. And in front of you is a long staircase heading downward.
Giant- The whole staircase underneath this thing. Harbin Wester.
Okay, and we will pick it up at the top of this staircase in our next session.
Ending it by breaking into a man's house
know
and
what?
finding his secret room.
Answer your fucking door.
Can you imagine how
Dragons
terrified this man is of you guys now?
Yeah, he's like down there, like breathing heavy, while we're just rounding through his house.
What you don't know is that he built all of this in the space of a week. It was just for us.
Right? He'll never find me in here.
Wow.
Brings in a wand.
No, that was
Wow.
funny.
Bruh.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you,
Okey-dokey.
Scott. That was fun. That was
Very
great.
welcome. Bit of a different session today, but like I thought that would be fun to try. Can I do something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let us find a place to drop the host. In fact, this is we're going to take it over. Actually, I think to Mr. Crit, who was the monster that carried me to Flawless in the Trials of Osiris last week.
Yeah.
Hey.
Must have been hard.
Mate, I'm telling you, honestly, see Crit and the guy that he was doing carries with, Dylan. They're I maybe over the course of the 7 games, I maybe made like three reasonably good plays, where I kind of won a round or something like that for the team, but the 2 of them were dead. I think over the course of 7 entire games of trials, I got maybe 6 or 7 kills. It was like honestly the 2-man trials. It was obscene, like how good these 2 guys were. So we're going to go and drop the host over on Mr. Crit, who is I think still doing trials carries. Thanks everyone who's hung out. Jeff for gifting the sub to Sin. Project and Jen again for the resubs, and Bearsa91 for the follow. If you're still here, it is much appreciated. Please do copy paste the dude's raid for in Crit's chat. I am gonna read and run and chat with the party before we finish up. But yes, I'll be back tomorrow. Destiny for me tomorrow, so I'll see you all then. Until then, Scotty out. Say bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.